So we're having a little trouble with Twitch this morning. Hold on just a second. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven, aka Storm, and we are back today to continue the Daggerfall Covenant questline as Reewish the Mighty Battle Lizard. But before we jump into that, I just want to quickly dip into what we found out is coming in the 2022 chapter. So the name of the year-long adventure is going to be The Legacy of the Bretons. So I got quite a good degree of excitement with a little dash of called it, because I was predicting it was going to be a Breton chapter, which is why we are doing the Daggerfall Covenant questline instead of the Elmeri Dominion questline, which is what I was originally planning to do before I got the inkling that we're probably going to a High Rock location, which we kind of are with High Rock. So what High Isle is an island in the Abekian Sea that is a resort for the nobles of High Rock. It's like basically their playground, and we're going to be traveling there for, I believe we're going to be helping try to end the Three Banners War, but I'm not 100% sure on what the story is going to be. We'll find out more when the Q1 DLC Ascending Tides drops. I've already spoken to the crew, the people I ran the 2021 dungeons with, and they're all on board to run the 2022 dungeons, so once the Coral Eyrie and Shipwright's Regret goes live, we will be doing those together here on the channel as always. And of course, there'll be the prologue quest in April or May, and culminating with the chapter DLC in June. June 21st is going to be the launch date, which means we're going to be playing on this first Sunday of June. I will not be, unfortunately, I will be going to summer camp the week after. So we'll be missing the second week of High Isle. We'll be at camp, and then when I come back from camp, we will be doing. Well, I could do the Saturday before camp too. We'll see if I feel like it. I might do a stream the Saturday before camp, just to keep us going in the story. And then, of course, when I get back from camp, we're going to be continuing on with High Isle until it's finished. The new system coming with 2022 is actually going to be a card game called Tales of Tribute. I'm not sure how good this game is going to be, or we don't know a lot about it. As far as we know, the game is going to be a resource building game instead of a combat oriented card game. So you collect cards, and then what happens is each opponent selects 2 decks of theirs, and they shuffle all 4 decks together into one joint pile. Then, of course, you play the game, and whomever wins, there's resources, there's gold, there's cosmetics, and there's even a full quest line, including challenging special NPCs that progresses said quest line, and then there's like a reward at the end of the quest line. So I'm kind of excited to see what it's like. I'm going to play it first on my main character and see what it's like. If it's good, I'll play it here on stream too. But if I don't care for the game that much, I'm probably not going to stream it. So just a heads up, if you don't see me streaming it, that's why. Let's see. Other housekeeping objects. I am working on rebranding my Twitch channel for those who are interested. I'm going to be placing a link to the new Discord that I'm setting up for announcements and just to start a community. I'm trying to get to affiliate status, so that way I can start getting more people to see my stuff, and maybe one day hope to join the stream team with ESO. So I'm posting the link in the comment section. If you click that, you can join our Discord if you're not already in it, and I'll be posting announcements there, and we're just starting a general community. Also, that's where I'll be hosting like votes for things like when I do the Skyrim playthrough after I get caught up on ESO content. I'll be posting polls and stuff there, so we can decide on the fate of my Argonian character in Skyrim. Alright, I believe that is all. There is one other quest I need to do, So what we're going to do is we're going to continue with our normal time frame, and I'm going to be getting into it in just a minute because we've already burned 5 minutes of playtime. We're going to be finishing Glenumbra, and we're going to start on Stormhaven. When I get to the 2 hour and 30 mark, instead of leaving, I'm going to go to Northern Elsewhere and do one quest there that I haven't done yet because it's going to be connected to one of the important characters of the High Isles. So I figured I'd better go ahead and get that done. But I also don't want to take time out of today's stream to knock that out, so we're going to do it kind of like as an extra overtime at the end of the usual stream time. So a little bit extra long stream today, but let's go talk to Lord Alan Dell.
Someone told me that the Library of Dusk is a trap
lore
for
book.
smart people.
Hey, get out of my way.
We're
There's a lore
safe
book.
then.
The true nature of orcs.
Come to help the great Lord Deal, have you?
Yes, what's up, Lord Deal?
Ah, another one. Here to work with the great Lord Deal, no doubt. I'm renowned throughout Glenumbra, you know.
I'd rather work with Lady Laurent personally, but sure, I've never heard of you.
Well, there's no excuse for that. You've certainly heard about the Harpy menace that threatens Daggerfall. Of course you have. My sons and I are here to put an end to that threat. I know you want to help. Start by finding my stupid hirelings.
Hirelings? What hirelings?
The daggers. They're out gathering information about the Harpies. Know your enemy and all that. You'll get paid once I have enough to complete my research. Take this dagger with you. He knows what to do.
Alright, but...
Off with you now. Bumnog will help you. Interesting fellow. Always fights fair. Refuses to use weapons against the Harpies. Just his fists. Can't imagine that works out for him. But he's the only dagger still here, so what do I know?
What are these daggers you keep mentioning?
Who, not what. The Daggers. A mercenary group out of Daggerfall. They're highly trained and extremely deadly. Or so they tell me. They're also lost. But they do work cheap, which makes them perfect for my purposes.
Yeah, there's something sus going on here. What do you mean by they're lost?
They left hours ago, and we haven't heard a word since. Only Bumnog returned. Which is why he's available to help you. Why are you still here? Get out there and find the missing daggers.
Hello, friend.
You're going to help me find the rest of the daggers? I'm not sure you're dagger material. Your hands look kind of soft and delicate. Like you've never beaten anything into submission with your own 2 fists before.
Dude, I literally saved your butt in Rivenspire. Just tell me what's going on here.
The daggers were hired to help Lord Deal gather research about the Harpies. We get him what he needs and we get paid. Simple as pie. But now the rest of the daggers are missing. We need to find them and make sure our first mission is a success.
This is the dagger's first job?
Everyone has to start someplace. Even the Fighters Guild had a first mission, didn't they? Who are you to judge? Let's get out there
angry.
and do what we're getting paid for. Let's find the daggers and bring back their research.
Alright, what kind of research are we talking about?
Harpies, eggs, whatever we can bring back so Lord Deal can figure out why these birds have become so violent lately.
And what do we need to do?
We have to find the missing daggers. Gelvin, our leader, and the Remley brothers. We find them and help them finish their jobs. And while we're at it, we look for the Queen Birdie, Fowling. She's a vicious killer, and she needs to be dealt with.
Can I ask you a few questions?
We shouldn't dawdle, so make it quick.
So who are the daggers?
We're an odd bunch, that's for sure. Gelvin found each of us either drinking away our troubles or begging for gold on the streets of Daggerfall. We were good for nothing and all but forgotten. Gelvin wanted to change that.
Why'd you decide to form your own group?
A few of us tried to join the city guard or hook up with the Fighters Guild. Truth be told, they wouldn't have us. We weren't good enough for them. So we formed the Daggers to show them that they're wrong.
But the Fire Guild will take pretty much anyone. How did the daggers hook up with Lord Deal?
Lord Deal's guards were in the city, looking to hire some muscle. They found us in the Rosy Lion, celebrating our newly formed partnership. We needed a job. Lord Deal needed some help, and here we are.
Did you ask for the job before you accepted it?
Well, not really. We were talking about how we needed to find a job, and suddenly Lord Deal's men were making us an offer. We took it as a sign that we were doing the right thing. The daggers were going places.
That sounds suspicious. Why don't you use a weapon?
I vowed that I would always face my opponents as an equal. If an enemy came at me with a sword, I would meet his blade with one of my own. The Harpies fight with claws. How could I go up against them with anything more than the fists nature gave me?
But their claws are as sharp as razors.
Sharp and natural. They don't wield weapons.
Hey, Drag, how are you?
I will fight them head on. Fists against claws. And
Thank
I will
you.
do so with honor.
I'm glad to hear. Welcome to the Battle Lizard's little companionship. Furchild is acting up. Yeah, well, Fur Children will do that. Be it puppy or be it kitten, they just can't help it.
I like to think I'm agreeable.
Oh, that's adorable. If I remember correctly, didn't your mom used to sneak into your room and like ambush you sometimes?
Thank you, old friend. Hello. That was a bit of a predicament. The Remley brothers do set a good trap, I must say. That one trussed me up tight. But now that you're here... Wait a moment. Who are you?
Lord Deal hired me to help the daggers. She still does on occasion.
The daggers don't need any... Oh, who am I kidding? I'm the leader of the daggers, and we don't have a clue as to what we're doing out here. If you're willing, we'd appreciate any help you care to provide.
I'm glad my mother never ambushed me. Sir, what do you want me to do?
I was collecting unhatched harpy eggs to bring back to camp. One of the things Lord Deal needs to complete his research. I got one egg, but we need to collect a few more.
Where can I find harpy eggs?
In the nests above. Be gentle with them. I don't want the hatchlings to come to any harm. I'm going to rest a moment and then head back to camp. With the gold his lordship pays us, the daggers can really make a go of this mercenary thing.
Why does he want unhatched harpy eggs? Like, is nobody asking the important question here? Like, what in the world he's doing with unhatched harpy eggs? Also, if you realize, like, how... Maybe he wants to be the daddy. I don't think that's what he wants, unfortunately, Drag. Especially since we're killing all the harpies. Or maybe he's hungry. That's a possibility. Actually, the harpy eggs kind of remind me of Briarheart seeds a little bit. Like, their design looks a lot like Briarheart seeds. I wonder if that's by design.
I hope you're watching.
There's not an egg there. Not an egg there either. Oh, also we're getting 2 new companions. I forgot to mention that. We're getting a Breton named Isabel and a Khajiit named Ember, which is actually really exciting. So, because they've only had the 2 same companions this whole year or so. They didn't put out any new companions with Deadlands or in the Crown Store or anything. So I'm really excited for the... Alright, that's 2 of the eggs found. It could take a hot minute to get all the eggs you need for this part.
Is that the last of them?
Well, ask where Khajiit got these. Like, I actually have, like, I have a merchant Khajiit and a banker Khajiit, by the way, that I can summon at any time. And my merchant Khajiit, I sell items to the Khajiit. So the question is, where does the Khajiit get the gold, and where does the Khajiit put the items I sell to him? Because he doesn't have pockets. Yeah, this is the reason why I did this quest first, because the eggs can take a while. One of our cat people in the D&D game, we don't know where she gets things. The red spot is dying. Be funny if she has like fur of holding where she can put items inside her fur.
Off with you, Swiss!
Celestial, who likes taking... Oh, okay. I mean, fey creatures do that too. Fey creatures like love like just grabbing things and like making it theirs. It's like one of their all-time favorite things. It's like fey are like the communist of the fantasy worlds. It's like it's not your bread, it's our bread.
This is a fresh kill. Be alert.
See, I'm kind of on a mixed book about things like that. Like if that's causing somebody not to enjoy the game, I don't really support it. Because like, you know, I know one person may be playing their character, but if somebody else is not having fun because they constantly have to keep the other person from stealing their stuff, that's not cool. Okay. She does it to tease the other. Okay, if she was actually trying to steal it just to annoy the person, that would be a different matter. So.
A flying harpy with a trap set on the ground. You're an idiot. You know that,
You
right?
know I hate it when you yell at me, brother. Now calm down and help me figure out how to get a harpy to trip a wire on the ground.
They're the Remley brothers.
I see the problem now.
Looks like we found the Remley brothers.
Ah, okay, their mom would beat her.
We're trying
Oops,
to
that
capture
was
a
not
few.
what I wanted to do. Sorry about that.
Did Lord Deal send you? Well, there's nothing new to report except that my brother is an idiot. Armo placed dozens of traps and he just realized something. Harpies don't walk. Now we're trying to figure out how to salvage the situation.
What are you going to do?
We're trying to capture a few of these creatures. Lord Deal wants to observe the harpies and see if they demonstrate any odd behavior that might explain the recent acts of aggression. But we're still working on our traps, as you can see.
That's 100% fair. Are all your traps set on the ground?
We've got some throwing snares. The only problem is the damn harpies are too strong. They need to be weakened before you hit them with the throwing snares. I may have a sword, but I'm not a fighter. That's too dangerous an approach for me.
Get me the throwing snares. How many harpies do you need?
Lord Deal said a few. So 4, I'd say. Yes, 4 harpies should do. If this works, please tell his lordship that we gave you the traps, all right?
Okay, Miri, I'm gonna have you disappear for a while because you cannot show mercy. This is like... Dwarf, I'm not a fighter, really? What you gonna do with that? You see, you take the sharp end and you stick it in the other person, not yourself. Yeah, but see, if I had Miri out, Miri would kill them while I'm trying to put them in the snare trap, because Miri just sees everything and is like, I take offense, and rushes for it and tries to kill it. Which is funny, because when you want her to kill something by herself, she'll never do it. But if you don't want her to kill something, she will absolutely obliterate it. It's like... I was like, Miri... I was doing a dungeon earlier, trying to get some experience for one of my other characters, and Miri just kept aggroing every single bat in the dungeon as I was trying to leave. I'm like, Miri, please, for the love of kitten, stop aggroing every bat in the dungeon.
That's all that Lord Deal asked us to do. Let's head back, but I want to have a chat before we enter the camp.
Miri's probably just as bad as the Warden's and Murder Bear, which is their bear ultimate. So the Warden class gets a bear ultimate where they get a bear companion that travels at their side. And the bear is notorious for pulling mobs that you don't want it to pull.
Let's talk here before we return to the camp.
So we call it Murder Bear.
Listen, you've helped the daggers a lot, and we appreciate it. But before we go back to camp, I need to make sure you understand something.
I'm listening.
Gelvin has a good head and a good heart. Always puts the daggers first and keeps us on the right side of the law. Of course, that's part of the reason we're still struggling. Sometimes mercenaries can't be too choosy about the jobs they take.
Why are you telling me this?
This Lord Deal, something's not right with him. Why does a noble care about harpies? But whatever, it doesn't matter. The daggers need to get paid. If not, our mercenary group collapses, and we're all back to the streets. Again.
What do you think Lord Deal's up to?
You're not listening. I'm saying that it doesn't matter. He could be a saint or Molag Bal himself. What matters is that we get paid so the daggers can stay together. Got that? Now let's get back to camp.
That's a very narrow-viewed mindset, dude. It's like, if you want pay so bad, I got plenty of gold.
You can't keep them like this, Lord Deal. They're in pain.
I can do what I like with them. After all, I'm the one investigating why these birdies have become so very, very angry.
Ugh. When Gelvin gets back, he won't stand for this. Smoke, ash, and fire. Just like home.
Oh, you're back. Much more reliable than those damn daggers. I don't see their leader, Gelvin. He didn't come back with you? More gold for the rest of you, I suppose. Now hand over the eggs, please.
Here are the eggs, but Gelvin hasn't returned yet?
I believe we already covered that. Now let me have a look at these beauties. Oh, so round and smooth. Well, oval, really. I'll begin studying these eggs right away. Wait a moment.
What's the matter?
Where's the other egg? I was promised 5 harpy eggs, not 4. Didn't they teach you to count? There will be no deal without 5 eggs. 5. No more, no less. Imbeciles.
Yeah, he's up to something. Like, he's being very specific about what he wants. Gelvin has the 5th egg.
Then I suggest you find that bootless lout and get it back. There will be consequences. These are my eggs. Let his sister know that if Gelvin doesn't return, I will have his right hand cut off for stealing from a noble.
My goodness.
Dealing with fools and idealists makes me thirsty. I need a drink.
Nobody likes this guy.
Greedy, ignorant, ugly son of a mammoth's ass. That Deal can go leap in the river.
Why is Lord Deal so angry?
I wish I knew. The rest of the daggers
exactly.
made it back, but there's been no sign of my brother. I had my doubts about getting involved with Lord Deal. I just wish I'd told Gelvin about them. But who are you anyway? Why do you care about any of this?
Trust me, I had no idea what I was getting into.
Well, you helped my brother and his daggers so far. I only hope we can continue to count on your support. So, listen. I heard Deal's threats. His claim is ridiculous, but he has gold. Paying guards to support a false accusation is easy enough.
What do you have in mind?
I think I know where you can find my brother. Whether you agree with Gelvin, me, or the bastard Deal over there, we need to find Gelvin and that egg. I don't want to see my brother get hurt.
Where can I find Gelvin?
There's a house on an island directly west of this camp. That's where we first met with Lord Deal. I could see that Gelvin was very interested in the place. I'll give you a head start before I tell Deal about it. Now go. Find my brother.
It's a shame that her clothes are so patched up and dirty. Like, she definitely should have something more pretty. And you, on the other hand, were making weird motions in the background there.
Is there something I can help you with? His lordship keeps me very busy, you know.
Yeah, you can fix up my gear real quick. Thank you. I'm gonna do a thing real quick.
You seek a Zabi? Deposit or withdrawal?
Always deposit, Zabi. Always deposit. Most of the time, anyways.
do you require?
Yeah, I'm hoping they release some nice new Breton clothes this year. They actually gave us quite a few new Breton outfits this last year, but I would definitely like to have some more Breton stuff. Let's see, what did we get this year? Quickly going through the collection tab here. Ah! Harpy, stop! I'm trying to do a walkthrough here. Let's see, we got the... Well, this came out, but we got... They all came out. Like, all the hero armors came out. This has been out for a while. This is that's a Breton outfit. There's one, evening dress. Yeah. There's also an off-the-shoulders dress, too. Which I should have... That probably should have been a note that what was coming. It's like the fact that we were getting a lot of Breton clothing. Because usually they tend to put out a lot of stuff related to the next chapter that's coming out. And I probably should have noticed that a lot sooner than I did. Oh, and I got a new mount, too, which I haven't started using yet. I should probably do that. This is the mount you get for pre-ordering High Isle, by the way.
I couldn't help
Not you. Daggers first, ideals second. I'm sorry, but I gotta put ideals first. And it's actually not up to me, it's up to the stream what we do. Good number, Master Explorer.
Something fishy's going on here. I think Lord Deal hasn't been entirely truthful with us. But how did you find me? Granette sent you, didn't she?
You didn't bring the egg back to camp. Granette is worried and Deal is upset.
I know. I was on my way back when I decided to investigate this place. When we first arrived, Deal and his sons came out of this building to greet us. I figured if there was any place to get any answers, it was right here.
And what have you discovered?
Nothing yet, but this whole situation feels off. I'm sure that his lordship hasn't told us the whole truth about the Harpy frenzy. Anyway, I'm not leaving this house until I find something that sheds light on what Deal is up to.
Then I'll help you look. Suspicious chest. This foul-smelling chest contains a surprising number of rotting fish. Suspicious coffer. Suspicious fish! And unlike the other fish around this room, this particular one smells surprisingly fresh. Prepared with the right amount of spice, it might even be considered edible. Filled bottle. These bottles are filled with a strange pungent liquid. It doesn't smell very healthy. Suspicious urn. Whatever secrets this urn once held have since been removed. All that remains is a scattering of pungent ashes. Suspicious rug. Oh, we found something. Contract with House Deal. To fishermen, Halvira, Militron, and company. As per our conversation, here's the signed contract completing our deal. You should have also received the bottles of elixir that will cause the effects we desire. Be careful, as I had to deal with various nefarious organizations within Daggerfall to procure the amount needed. Apply the contents of a full bottle to your daily haul of fish, and then leave the treated fish for the harpies to feast upon. We should begin to see the effects within a matter of days. As the harpies consume the tainted fish, they will become extremely aggressive. As the harpy threat rises, the nasty birds will have to be dealt with. Once they are eliminated, we can expand Daggerfall down the coast and increase our investment 100-fold. Secrecy is imperative. In the meantime, we will have another group to procure harpies and their eggs, so we might as well make a profit for the creatures while we're at it. No one needs to know how this started. It should appear that we're just doing our civic duty and helping the great city of Daggerfall in its time of need. Lord Alan Deal of Daggerfall.
You found something, didn't you? What is it? Tell me what you found.
I found this contract. Lord Deal knows more about the harpies than he let on.
Let me see that. What in the name of... Lord Deal's been poisoning the harpies the entire time. He orchestrated their frenzy, and he claimed he's been trying to help. He's been using us.
He's also paying you enough to keep the daggers together.
It's tainted gold. The daggers don't operate that way. We're not common thieves that break the law just to fill our own pockets. This is a dangerous edge to walk, and it cuts both ways. I didn't want the daggers to start out like this.
What happens if the daggers don't get paid?
Well, we'd have to disband. We'd go our separate ways and hope we can find a way to feed our families. Damn it. This isn't an easy choice. I just can't accept that we'd get our start helping a noble do the wrong thing.
Okay, so we have a choice, and this is what we do in the chat, is everybody gets to vote on what we do. So anybody who's in the chat right now, do we say, no matter what happens, you have to do the right thing and reveal Lord Deal's treachery, or do we say, too many people need this gold, ignore the facts, and finish the job? We'll give it until the 33-minute mark to see if anyone wants to put their input in. Okay, so we got one vote for doing the right thing. We'll give it a little bit to see if anybody else is observing and if they want to vote or not. Okay, I think that's a good place to say, no matter what happens, you have to do the right thing and reveal Lord Deal's treachery.
Of course, you're right. Deal has to be stopped. I think I know what to do. And if all else fails, I've always been good at improvisation.
What do you need me to do?
You've done enough. Just keep Lord Deal busy. It's not up to you to finish this. That's work for the daggers. Even if it turns out to be our last job, we're going to do it right.
I wouldn't poke at the suspicious fish there, demonic chicken. Don't you flap at me. We are going to have words. I'm just upset that I defeated Lord Dagon.
Gelvin's sister gave up his location so easily. Now where is that damn thief? And where in the 8 is my damn egg?
You're not getting the harpy egg.
What did you say? How dare you? That's my property. You expect to get away with this? I knew I shouldn't have put my trust in a bunch of low-life scum. You'll be in the hands of the Daggerfall Guard by the end of day.
Everybody sees what's going on in the background there, right? Or they could learn how the harpy threat really started.
You think the Guard would believe you? Some street rats who lay a claim against a well-respected noble? You're dumber than you look. The Guard will chuckle as they lead you to the dungeons. Or maybe we'll just end this right now.
Yes, probably. Actually, King Hasmir and I are good friends.
You? Friends with the king? Oh, that's brilliant. Really, it is. You must dine with his family on a regular basis? Perhaps vacation together in the countryside? I'll give him your regards. It's a shame about your tragic accident and all. Guards!
Actually, I'm the one who's going to be giving the king your regards after your tragic accident.
What in the Divine's name?
Well, a noble of Daggerfall is dead. Are we not going to release the other harpies?
So Gelvin killed the bastard? I didn't think he had it in him. It still doesn't change the fact that he botched our entire deal. I told you to talk him out of it.
Lord Deal planned to sell the harpies and the eggs he was using you. It was less satisfying than I hoped for. Oh well.
Yeah, I figured that out. His lordship was also behind the whole Harpy menace thing too, wasn't he? Well, it's a good thing I decided not to count on Gelvin to turn a profit.
What do you mean?
I snatched this from the camp when no one was looking. It's not much, but a few gems are better than no gems at all. Why don't you tell Gelvin that you found it on his lordship's body? We don't want him to think I stole it or anything.
Why didn't you just give it to Gelvin?
Well, I trust you. Besides, I need to set these birdies free, and they're not going to be very happy when I do. You've dealt with enough dagger business for one day. Leave this to me. Go on, go on. I'll catch up later.
You know, he's always trying to get me to lie for him. It's like, I never do, pretty much.
I'm sorry I failed you. I know you were all counting on me.
Hey, Gelvin, good news.
Deal's gone, but I don't feel any better. These people depended on me, and I failed them. I can't even do one job correctly.
Don't give up on the daggers just yet.
What do you mean?
So we have two choices again. We can say, I found this bag of gems on Lord Deal's body, or Bulmog snatched these gems from Lord Deal's camp. So we can tell the truth and say he was snatched from the camp, but he's dead. He's not really going to make use of them, and these were supposed to be their pay anyways, or we can say, I found this bag of gems on Lord Deal's body. Honestly, I doubt anybody's going to come back on them, so if no one wants to vote, we'll just go ahead and say that we found the bag of gems on Lord Deal's body. I found this bag of gems on Lord Deal's body.
The pompous ass carried these around with him? That figures. Technically, we did complete the job. Wait, what am I saying? This isn't right. These gems don't belong to us.
You earned those gems, and now the daggers can stay together.
I thought the daggers were finished, but, well, looks like we have a future after all. Here, take this, for helping us finish the job. Consider it a small token of our appreciation. You'll always have a place with the daggers if you want it.
Complete quest. And unfortunately, the daggers immediately broke up, and only the Rimley brothers and Bulmog are together the next time you see them. And they had to change their name because the Circle of Daggers, the intelligence agency of the Daggerfall Covenant was like, excuse us, but that's our name. You can't use our name. And because the Circle of Daggers is known for their torture techniques, they were like, yes, ma'am, exactly as you say, we will change our name at once. You can actually watch that that quest on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ I don't know if it's /StormerMia or whatever it is, but there's, I actually streamed this that quest already, if anyone's interested in watching it. It's the follow-up to this quest, technically, which I should have done after this quest, but, you know, things happen. Stop judging me.
Off we go.
Alright, so we are here in Crosswatch to help young the Red Rook, or not the Red Rook, but the occupation of this town. No, it is Red Rook occupation in this town.
Regret the day I ever involved myself with these Red Rook bastards. By the 8, this ends here.
I'm here to help the Resistance.
We could use the help. These damned Red Rooks. They destroyed my town, and now they're trying to take over Crosswitch. I made a vow. I will have my revenge. I'm going to rally the people of Crosswitch to take back their town.
What do you need me to do?
Townsfolk are scared. If they stick their necks out, they end up as slaves in the mines. Or worse. We need the support of the town council. The few that haven't been dragged off to the mines need to show the people how to stand up to these curs.
I'll talk to the counselors.
We need the support of the town council. Without them, the rest of the townsfolk will be too afraid to fight back.
Can I ask a few questions?
Of course. I'll answer what I can.
Any idea who's in charge of these bandits?
Sternus Gelves. He's the real threat. Without him, the Red Rooks are just disorganized thugs looking for pockets to pick and purses to snatch. It was his idea to take over Crosswich. He's building an empire here.
What counselors should I talk to?
The most prominent of the remaining counselors are Counselors Virgil, Donella, and Theodore. Look for them around town and convince them to help us. Or we're finished before we even get started.
How are things in Eaglesbrook now?
About what you'd expect. It weighs on me. That's why I made my way to Crosswich. I think I can help the people here.
Yeah. Oh, this is a nice map. This is a map of Cyrodiil, I believe. I think this is a map of Cyrodiil. What's that map? I'm actually unsure what that is. But I'm pretty certain that's Cyrodiil. Yeah, that is Cyrodiil. Hey, what's up there, Myriad?
Did you meet
Marit?
with Damian Sellen? He's got the right idea. Time to take back this town.
What do you plan to do?
The Red Rookin forces have threatened, extorted, or beaten us at every turn. They claim it's for our own protection, but they just want our gold. They're not even honest about their thievery. I say it's time to fight back.
Can I help?
That's what I wanted to hear. If you stand up to those greedy bastards, it will show the rest of the town that we can take back Crosswich.
I'll deal with the enforcers. Yeah, see, we're supposed to be looking for the ones that are named enforcers.
Back, you betcha!
Red Rook.
Not a moment too soon.
But we're also looking for ones that are threatening civilians. So.
Blessed Mara, why is this happening? What did we do to deserve this trouble? You better go. They'll be back at any moment to demand more gold from me.
I'm here to help. You need to convince the townfolk to follow Timiel Cillian.
Are you mad? Sellen wants the people to rise up and fight. That would be suicide. Still, the Red Rooks harass me every day, demanding more and more gold. Oh no, I think I hear them now.
I don't hear anything. If you stand up to them, you set an example for the rest of the town.
You probably think I'm just foolish, imagining Red Rooks around every corner. But those nasty bandits are rude, greedy, and dangerous. I don't want to end up poor and destitute.
Huh? Do you not hear it anymore? Hold on.
Your willingness to help shames me. You're right. I must be strong if we are ever to feel safe again. I'll find a way to help you and Sellen. I can spread the word that we're going to fight back.
Okay, sorry. Alright, so that's one done. On to the next location with a counselor.
To hurt you, but now I'm going to.
There's 2 civilians saved. Ah, okay.
Time of explanation.
There's 3.
This town belongs to the Red Rooks now.
And there's 4.
I can't thank you enough.
Counselor Theodore.
Who are you? Another Red Rook dog barking for its masters? I've got bad news for you, Hound. I'm fed up. Whatever you want, the answer is no.
I'm not a Red Rook. I'm here to stop them.
Oh? Well, why didn't you say so? The Red Rooks took over my mine. They're forcing the miners to work until they drop. You want to stop the Red Rooks? How about running them through with a sword? That'd be damn useful.
Tamian Cillian is organizing a resistance to take back Crosswatch.
Not sure I entirely trust that young fellow. But standing around doing nothing doesn't sit well with me either. I'm not much use in a battle, but I can spread the word. We'll raise an army to deal with these Red Rooks.
Your support will encourage the people.
Let Sellen know I'm with him. We'll stick a hot poker in the backside of that pompous Sternus Gelvs and the rest of his beef-witted Red Rooks.
Woo, we're getting a force together. Oh.
They killed Esif. They gave Gelvs everything he demanded to keep the townsfolk safe, even surrendered his own house. They killed Esif anyway. Our beloved mayor. They killed him in cold blood.
He was the mayor. They killed him in cold blood. The Red Rooks killed the mayor of Crosswatch.
Weren't you listening? They killed him. First they ran the watch out of town. Then they took over our businesses. Now they murdered the mayor. They extort, threaten, and murder to their heart's content. And no one can stop them.
Tamian Cillian is organizing the people. We're going to fight back.
Are you mad? Everyone who tried is either dead or enslaved in the mines. We can't win. The Red Rooks are too powerful. I just lost my best friend. I don't want to lose anyone else.
It doesn't sound like the mayor gave up.
You didn't even know him. No, you're right. Esif wasn't a soldier, but he was a strategist. He was trying to work around these bastards. The least I can do is continue what he started. I'll do whatever Sellen asks.
All right, we've got enough forces to take back this town.
Did you teach those Red Rooks a lesson?
The Red Rook enforcers shouldn't bother with those people anymore.
I don't know what happened to us. We're mountain folk and miners. We shouldn't be so easily cowed. You've given us back our courage. Thank you.
Complete quest.
I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that the people have begun to rally around the idea of resisting the Red Rooks. The bad news is the Red Rooks have taken notice.
The councilor supported the resistance.
This is just the thing we need to inspire the people. Now the resistance can get to work on getting rid of the Red Rooks. Anyone who stands up to Sternus Gelvs ends up in the Crosswitch mines. He works as prisoners to death down there. We need to close the mines and take that resource away from the Red Rooks.
Tell me about the mines.
The Red Rooks took control of the mines when they arrived. They worked the miners night and day. And they also use the mines as a prison for anyone who causes trouble. Counselor Leah, Smith Suriel, and Len the innkeeper were all sent into the mines.
Do you want me to get them out of there?
That would be perfect. If you can free Len, Suriel, and Counselor Leah, the entire town will gain confidence. Let them know we're organizing. Maybe help some of the miners as well. Then meet me behind the inn when you're finished.
I can do that.
Talk to any miners you can get close to without arousing suspicion. Let them know we're organizing. Or just kill the Red Rooks in the mine. Miners will try to escape if you clear a path for them.
I'll do what I can to help in the mines.
Your actions will raise the town's morale, I'm sure of it. I heard you spoke to Marenter Gent. That means we'll soon have more strong hands to help us oust these black-hearted rogues.
I guess this is a fight now.
I'm gonna have to go kill that guy because he's not gonna be aggro anytime soon, it looks like.
Never used to fight this much. I'm getting out of here. Till I met you.
Oh, Mary, you know you like it. There we go, Glenumbra Skyshard Hunter.
I'm getting out of here. This is taking longer than I'd planned.
You know, so far it's been only women that they've had enslaved in the mine, which is like really sexist. So here's the guy.
Selen's organizing a revolt. I'm in.
Would it kill them to run away?
Will pay
well,
for what
no, I
they've
guess
done
it
here.
wouldn't. Maybe they should try that.
I must finish this.
You lead.
I'm getting out of here.
I'm getting out of here.
Selon's got a good plan. I'll go help him.
From the side!
I'm getting out. They're coming for us. I'm still here.
Hey, welcome to the stream.
I'm getting out of here.
We're just working our way through Glenumbra right now.
I was on my way to tell Selen I'd join him when the Red Rooks captured me. It's time to finish what I started.
How are you this fine day, Sebastian Evie? Ding!
Ring the bell. Is there a cave-in? You! Get away from that bell!
good at this. Well,
I feel that. Glad to have you in the stream. We're almost done with Glenumbra. I think this is the last quest in Glenumbra, and we're off to Stormhaven, which is by far one of my favorite places to go in Elder Scrolls. Wayrest is just really pretty. I mean, not as pretty as Alinor or Leyawiin, but it's still one of the nicest places in Elder Scrolls. I hope to one day be able to afford the player house in Wayrest, but it's like super expensive, so.
I've heard your praises from a number of rescued miners. Well done.
I also killed Foreman Base.
Blaze? Dead? That's good news. I've sent some of the miners to Councillor Vergil to recover. As soon as they're able, they'll return to the mine and clear out the rest of the Red Rooks. Well done, my friend. It's time. The people of Crosswich have taken up arms and are ready to retake their town. But first, Sternus Gelves must die.
Where is Sternus Gelves?
He's taken over the mayor's house. Since the resistance started, he never leaves the place. You'll have to fight through his personal guards to reach him. Fortunately, you'll have some help, if you want.
What do you mean?
The resistance has grown thanks to you. If you want help, use this whistle in front of the mayor's house. Anyone nearby will come to help. Find me when Gelves is finished. Meanwhile, we'll start removing the rooks out here. We've got them on edge.
I'll go find Gillis. Now, while I could call for help, I find that they just kind of get in the way, so I'm not really going to do it. I'm just going to go in there and kill them myself. I mean, I could do this.
For Crosswich!
He enjoys the attention. I guess this is a fight now. Scatter!
I like how my help was just one lady in a dress. With a sword, mind you, but still.
You may have beaten my guards, but you can't defeat me.
I think I can, actually. Get out of the mayor's house. Hey, M Sharp, welcome to the stream. How are you today? I'm good. Just about ready to finish Glenumbra.
Thanks to your efforts, order and peace are restored. Crosswich will be back to normal in no time.
Sternus Gillis is dead.
At last, Sternus Gelves has paid for his crimes against Crosswich, Eaglesbrook, and my family. This town and I owe you for that.
Time for me to head back to the mine. We'll take care of any Red Rooks stupid enough to stick around.
We need to make plans. This sort of thing must never happen to Crosswitch again.
Perhaps I could help you with that.
I was rather hoping you'd say that. Come, we should get started right away.
Who bets he's going to be the new mayor of this town? Alright, so we are done with Penumbra. So the next step is off to Stormhaven. Woo! Stormhaven at last! We got an hour and a half left of the stream, so we're going to get a little bit of progress in Stormhaven today. Yeah, if you don't have the quest already and you talk to this person, I believe they set up the Stormhaven quest for you. Here we go. We're entering Stormhaven. Stormhaven. Situated at the head of the strategic Iliac Bay, Stormhaven is the geographical center of High Rock and also the home of the greatest trading city of Wayrest, capital of the Daggerfall Covenant, where High King Emmerich rules. So we have to find the guard captain. What happened here? Let's poke our head in and see if anybody's in the watchtower. Hello? The men are at their stations. Well, this is definitely not normal. Let's buff up. I don't think this wolf caused it. What are they? Super 7 mineral? I'm not sure how to say that word, honestly. Like, super null or super null recruit? Supernal? I don't know. Super null. Okay, so this is super null. Oh, I think we just found the guard captain.
You dare meddle with the supernal dreamers? Taste the flames of oblivion. Go. Flash and rend. Why won't
They're coming for us.
Die.
Did you say Vermina? I'm pretty sure he just said Vermina. Though the braziers have been doused, Captain Jarek still seems to be struggling in his sleep. Shake Captain Jarek awake. Then Captain Jarek begins to steer.
I have to get to Coldland Village. Meet me there.
Go, my minions. Slash and rend. Why won't she die?
In a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
Okay, got our first sky shard of the area. And here we are in the village, Coghlan Village. Go and turn this quest in real quick before we pick up this next one.
Came and stole that armor. I don't
Captain.
know. They could
have sworn I...
Gods! They killed them all! Those Daedric filth killed my entire patrol. Then they dragged me off and threw me into a nightmare. Vermina. They kept saying Vermina.
At least now you're free. What will you do now?
High King Emmerich needs to know about this cult. With their nightmare magic, these Daedric madmen could plunge Stormhaven into chaos. But you, thank you for saving me.
Of course.
As soon as I recover, I'm going to Wayrest. I have to warn the king about these people. These supernal dreamers.
What can you tell me about the supernal dreamers' plans?
I don't know, but it can't be good. They're up there calling on Vermina, the Daedric Prince of Nightmares, putting me to sleep and talking about summoning something. If it's what I saw in my dreams, it's something terrible.
Do you think they're planning something here in Stormhaven?
Without a doubt. I even heard King Emmerich's name. We need to warn him. We need to warn everyone. I told the village constable, but he's more worried about these slavers. He doesn't understand. These people worship Vermina.
What do you know about Vermina?
No more than most men. She's the Daedric Prince of Nightmares and Evil Dreams. She's horrible, but some people actually worship her.
Yeah, some people worship all of the Daedric Princes, which is, you know, kind of interesting in of itself. Okay, so we're gonna go pick up the next quest from Dane.
This is insane. I've committed no crime.
Okay.
What do you mean, not a good idea? You expect me to show pity for someone who's working with slavers?
You really believe that? She's a Knight of the Flame. There's no way she was working with the slavers.
Then why'd the constable have her locked up? You don't have an answer for that, do you?
I don't understand the constable's reasoning, but I have enough sense to realize that something's not right here.
To be fair, everything that's going on right now is the machinations of Mini Marco and the Worm Cult. Like, they're directly responsible for about 90% of everything going wrong in all of the base game zones right now. Their goal is to destabilize and keep the three factions inter fighting with each other as long as possible, so they can take over Cyrodiil while the three factions are busy squabbling, and then they can then destroy the three factions from the inside and basically take over the world. So,
whoever you are, you've got to help me. I know what this looks like, but I can assure you, I have committed no crime.
Then why are you in the stocks?
The local constable is apparently 2 arrows shy of a quiver. The town was attacked by slavers, and he's accused me of being involved. I am a Knight of the Flame for Mara's sake, sent here to help secure the village.
Does he have any evidence against you?
Just that I arrived in town right before the attack. It's absurd! Nerves are on edge at the castle, so I was sent to help protect the village. A messenger should have arrived ahead of me, but Constable Pascal says he never received the message.
Let me talk to the constable.
I'm glad you came along. The constable's down by the docks. If he won't listen to reason, try to find the messenger from Alcaire Castle. He can explain everything. If you can get me released, the Knights of the Flame will be in your debt.
Is it possible you were set up?
I can't imagine who would do such a thing. If that is the case, though, someone needs to send word to the Knights of the Flame at Alcaire Castle.
Who exactly are the Knights of the Flame?
The Knights of the Flame are sworn to defend Stormhaven from any who would do harm to the Bretons. But our primary duty is to protect the royal family. High King Emmerich, of course, and his brother, Duke Nathaniel at Alcaire Castle to the north.
You said nerves were on edge at the castle?
Indeed. All kinds of rumors, spies at court, an attempt on the Duchess's life, an army of Red Guards with orders to storm the castle. Sir Hughes, the head of the Knights of the Flame, sent me here to make sure the village remains secure.
Yeah, a long time ago. It's been quite a while. Like, I think that was back on my old Xbox character that I did that on. I haven't done that since the PS4 version came out. I do plan to do that when I do my Skyrim playthrough, but it's something I'm going to be eventually doing. Also, congratulations if you just did all that yourself. So, but what you were saying, M Sharp, yes, the Knights of the Flame should definitely consider this a declaration of war. So. But they're kind of having their own trouble right now, as she described, with rumors about a horde of Red Guards going to storm Alcaire Castle. Hello, Constable Pascal.
You're welcome to Coghlan Village, traveler, but you'll have to excuse me. No time for idle chat. The town's been attacked by slavers, and to make matters worse, they had help from people we would have expected to be on our side.
You're referring to the knight in the stocks?
Exactly. Everyone is all worked up because she's claiming to be a Knight of the Flame. I give her credit for a brilliant disguise, but I wasn't born yesterday. You didn't fall for her cockamamie story, did you?
She says there should have been a messenger.
Again, a very convenient lie. There was a messenger from the castle here, but he didn't say anything to me. He was over there by the warehouse when the slavers attacked. Those fancy clothes made him a target. They took him captive.
Where did they take the messenger?
Well, I got the town guard organized fast and had the slavers in full retreat. The cowards. They barricaded themselves in the warehouse, though. We're just going to starve them out. If your messenger's not dead, they've got him down there.
I'll go look for him.
Be my guest. Just don't expect any help from the guard. The slavers are like rats, quick to scurry back into a hole. But they fight nasty when they're cornered.
Tell me more about the slaver attack.
The Dunmer crept up from the south and attacked in the dark. They killed the watchguard, but not before he sounded the alarm. We reacted fast. I had an uneasy feeling, so we were on alert. Lost a few good men. The Dunmer lost more.
But they escaped with some captives?
It's possible, but we cornered most of the cowards and cut them down. The last dozen or so barricaded themselves in the warehouse. Current plan is to just starve them out. If your messenger's alive, though, they've got him in there.
Aren't you afraid?
I wouldn't feed your corpses to my dog.
Warden, what's going on here?
Hey, you're not going into the warehouse, are you? Constable promised me that if anyone got to go in there and paint the walls with slaver blood, it would be me.
He said I could go.
He did? That fobbing cheat. He always does this to me. He promised I could kill the slavers. Well, go ahead then. I won't try to stop you.
Aw, I'm sorry, lady. I'm gonna be stealing your kill.
Whew, that was a bit of a warm-up. Alright, why for mummy?
Light it up! Just try to get it.
Hello, messenger.
It's about time. I assume the Duke sent you? I am his personal messenger, you know. Well, what are you waiting for? Untie me.
First, tell me why you came to the village.
I had a message for the constable. Not that it's any business of yours. Sir Hughes of the Knights of the Flame sent me with clear orders. The message is for the constable's ears only.
If you'd rather stay here.
No, please, I'll tell you. Not like it's a really important secret or anything. Sir Hughes just takes himself a little too seriously. The message was just that Dame Dabienne of the Knights of the Flame was coming to help with security.
Did you tell the constable?
No, I never got the chance. I had to talk to my friend first. Well, I didn't have to, I suppose. Anyways, that's when the slavers attacked. Will you untie me now? I'll go talk to the constable right away.
Sure, straight to the constable, though. See, I wish Bretons were not so magic-focused, because, like, knighthood and, like, being a knight is so ingrained into Breton culture, but they're so ill-equipped in this game to be stamina-based characters. Like, in Skyrim, or in other games, a Breton can easily be any of the classes. They can wield weapons, but in ESO, they have a natural disadvantage. And it's not a huge disadvantage. You can successfully play a stamina Breton. The problem is, though, is you're going to have trouble with sustain versus penetration and damage. Like, you're going to have to sacrifice quite a bit of damage and penetration in order to keep your sustain up. It's not viable. At least it's not as viable as it used to be. Back when you could have ridiculous amount of critical chance, it was possible. But now that they've nerfed critical chance into the ground, it makes it almost impossible to play a stamina Breton. So I'm hoping that this year we'll see a more hybridization of Bretons. Like, for example, give them the ability to, instead of just like reducing magic cost of abilities, reducing all cost of abilities. And that would then make them more hybrid friendly. And then you can have stamina Bretons, and you can play a more knightly oriented Breton. So, hello, Constable.
This young man is lucky to be alive, though I'm not sure he realizes it. He told me about the message from the castle. The whole thing just seems a little too convenient, though, doesn't it? I can't release Dame Dabienne. Not yet.
Even with proof of her innocence?
My duty is to ensure the safety of this village. And my gut's telling me that she's part of the threat. Too many coincidences. If we can get the village secure, we can revisit the matter. Right now, I need to deal with this ship.
What's your problem with the ship?
The slavers are on board. The captain claims he's not with them, but I know the truth. He's asking me to send the town guard to help him clear the slavers from below decks. It's clearly some kind of trap. And we're not falling for it.
What if he's telling the truth?
He's not. But even if he was, it wouldn't be my problem. My duty is to the village, not his ship. Bottom line, he needs to turn his ship around and head back out to sea. If not, we'll just sink it right here. That'll solve his slaver problem.
I'll talk to the captain.
You do that. Soon as we can ensure the town's in no immediate danger, we can talk about releasing your friend from the stocks.
Yeah, I know. He's definitely playing with fire because and especially because the Order of the Flames is not any normal knight order. They serve the royal family of Daggerfall. So, like, that makes it, like, at least 3 times worse.
The constable says, be ready. He's got a plan.
Captain?
In all my years sailing these seas, I've never received such ill treatment in a friendly port. My men lie here bleeding on deck and we are refused aid. This man they call Constable is the son of a dog. Or did he change his mind?
Constable Pascal says you're working with the slavers.
I'd sooner eat sand than do business with these Dunmer swine. I have explained this. Last night was dark. When I realized there was no beacon to mark the shore, I dropped anchor. The slavers came in longboats. They caught us unawares.
But you managed to fight them off?
It was a daring battle. The slavers outnumbered us 10 to 1. But we'd planned for this. We lured them below decks and sealed the hatch. Many men were lost, though. We here on deck are all that remain, and we need aid. Can you help us?
Do you have anything to prove your claims?
Yes, of course. I would gladly give my ledger over, but unfortunately it is below decks. This is why I've asked the constable to assist us in eliminating these Dunmer dogs, but he has refused. I'm afraid we're at a stalemate in this respect.
Alright, let me go down there. I'll get the ledger and take care of the slavers while I'm at it.
You are brave. Perhaps even a little foolhardy. But I like you. Though I fear for your safety down there, I will not stand in your way. If you return with the ledger, I will be forever in your debt.
Something you need, Pot. Them to run away. Well, no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that.
Okay, we got the ledger. We killed the slavers.
I've had it, I tell you.
I gotta go talk to the constable. Okay, not the captain. Which makes probably would have made more sense to go to the captain first, but whatever.
What is it?
What if we're expecting cargo? What should we do?
I'm sure we'll have the situation
The chief still
resolved
doesn't
soon.
relent. Can we kill him?
Then,
Unfortunately
we'll
not.
have to be patient.
The captain still refuses to leave? All right, then we'll do this the hard way. I'll call together the rest of the guard.
He's not with the slavers. This ledger proves it.
You have the ship's ledger? The captain said it was lost below decks. I'll have to study this, but I'll be honest, I'm extremely skeptical this will prove anything completely.
Really? At least you can release the knight.
No, I'm sorry. We just
Please
can't
kill
take
him.
that risk.
I wish I could.
I dreamed about all of this, you see. The slavers, the ship, the knight. They were all working together. Even the blacksmith. I've known her for years.
The blacksmith is involved too?
Yes, Sabisa the blacksmith too. And I don't care how it sounds. Defending the village is the highest priority, and we need weapons for that. Sabisa is refusing to supply us. She's leaving me no option but to have her arrested.
And now you want me to talk to her?
Actually, I prefer you didn't. I appreciated your objectivity at first, but I must admit I am beginning to question your intentions. I'd prefer if you simply left town.
Don't you realize how paranoid you sound?
You don't know what you're talking about. Paranoid. If you saw what I saw. I dreamed about this. Every last detail. You think that was just a coincidence? No way.
Are you starting to realize what's going on? You'll see here soon. You'll see what's going on here soon. It'll make a lot of sense what's going on here in just a moment. Just a taste. Sure. You have no mercy in your body, do you? Yeah, it's pretty clear. Like, this isn't his fault. He's being manipulated through his nightmares. Not for the stupid...
Constable Pascal sent you here with orders to open the forge. You can just turn around and head right back out the door. That man has no right to order me around, and I'm not about to issue weapons for his witch hunt.
I came with a warning. He's planning to arrest you.
Arrest me? That beef-witted bastard. To think I even cooked that man breakfast. What in oblivion's gotten into him? First he arrests a Knight of the Flame, and now me?
You two were close?
We were friends for years, and then one night... Well, I guess you don't need the details. For a month or two, I thought we had something. Then he just broke it off. Wouldn't even let me in his house to talk. He acted like I had betrayed him.
He mentioned something about his dreams.
He did? He was having trouble sleeping. You know, I saw one of those weird cult members leaving his house. The Supernal Dreamers. You don't think that has anything to do with this?
I should investigate the constable's house.
Good idea. Perhaps there's some indication of why Pascal's behaving this way. He's just not himself. I'll talk to some of the other townspeople. I bet some of them have noticed his behavior as well.
But to be fair, he wouldn't have done any of this if it hadn't been for the nightmares. Still stupid. Tremora! It's actually a very nice bed. No, I don't think so anymore. Look at all that dark energy like radiating from it. Well, he was suspicious. He was suspicious about, like, he thought he was having, like, some kind of prophetic dream or something.
Turns out that almost everyone in town thinks Pascal's been acting strange. Even the guards. Did you find anything that explains his behavior?
There was a Tremora and this Daedric symbol on his bed.
Oh, my poor little Pascal. What a mess you've made. One thing's for sure. We need to put an end to all these wicked accusations he's been making.
And release Dane Dabiena. I'm not sure how to say her name from the stocks.
Indeed. As I said, even the town guards knew something was amiss. I told them to be ready. I suppose Pascal will probably have to be restrained. Oh well. Best thing for unpleasant work is just to get it over with. Let's go.
Yep, he'll have to be put in the stocks.
So you're all
Oh look,
league with
he's
her.
already in the
I
stocks.
should have known.
Not so fine, are you now?
Look, he's getting his just rewards. This is acceptable. Dame.
Oh, my aching neck. I haven't been this sore in years. Oh, but freedom sure does feel good. This situation was more dangerous than I realized. You went way beyond the call of duty here, friend. I can't adequately express my gratitude.
I'm glad we straightened it all out.
Not as glad as I am, believe me. It seems I'll need to take over security here in the village. And with those slavers out there, I need to get busy. First, though, I'm gonna see if someone around here can give me a massage.
See if someone around here can give you a massage. You've earned it.
The villagers may not realize it, but you saved this town from crumbling into chaos. I mentioned before that I came from Alcaire Castle. The situation there is critical, and I think you might be able to make a difference.
What's the problem at Alcaire Castle?
I could give you a list to be sure, but my concerns are more general. There are rumors of assassins and spies in the castle, and as I was leaving, I heard something about a Red Guard army marching in that direction.
Why would Red Guards attack?
Good question. We're all part of the Daggerfall Covenant, right? Maybe it was a false report. All the same, you should go. Talk to Messenger Courtier when you get there. I asked him to announce you're coming to Duke Nathaniel.
I'll look for him at the castle.
Friends, are you going to allow this?
Take him to the warehouse. Give him to the slavers.
Okay, guys, you're going a little bit too far there. There is another quest around here somewhere. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like that's a little too far.
When I'm free, there will be an accounting.
When I'm free, there'll be an accounting. Oh, there we go. Margot Oskut. Can I help you, Margot?
Lucas, my poor little baby, all alone out there. If you're leaving the village, if you could please look out for my son. With these slavers about, I'm afraid something terrible has happened.
Where did she last see him?
Breakfast. I made his favorite, biscuits and jam. Then he went out to play. That good-for-nothing deputy won't even go look for him. But the slavers could have shipped Lucas off to Morrowind by now.
Why won't the deputy help?
He says that securing the town comes first, but the town seems perfectly secure to me. Someone has to help my baby.
Don't worry, I'll find him.
If you find Lucas, I'll be eternally grateful. He's just an innocent boy. In a minute, I'll have to go get dinner ready, but I'm going to keep his plate warm.
Any idea which way he went?
Sometimes he goes fishing on the beach just south of the village. He wears his little boots. Oh, my poor little boy. Please find him. You have to.
Alright, I'll find your son. It's actually very unusual for Bretons that are not, like, royalty for them to move away from their families. Typically, Breton families stay together their entire lives.
I don't want to hurt you, but now I'm going to.
Set it ablaze!
Which is why you see a lot of grown Bretons, children with their parents in this. These papers show plans to take over the Coligan Lighthouse and extinguish the lights. I should take these plans to Coelian Village and give them to the deputy. Started lighthouse attack plans. Well, they are pretty high in like places like Wayrest and stuff, and that does not look like a little boy. Once we take care of these Dark Elves enough that I can actually go talk to him. Oh, lore book, founding of the Spirit Wardens. Hello, Lucas.
God strike you! Couldn't you have just waited 5 more minutes? The slavers outside the tent were talking about where their base of operations is. Then they got interrupted. I'm guessing they saw you. My mom sent you, didn't she?
You're Margot's little boy, or Margot's little boy?
Exactly. My mother's a little overprotective. She still tries to tuck me into bed at night. It's embarrassing. And now she's messed up the whole plan. I actually came here to spy on the slavers.
What were you hoping to learn?
Anything and everything. With Constable Pascal acting strange, Deputy Lyric and I took the initiative. I may not have heard where their base of operations is, but there are plans for some other attack floating around the camp.
I found those plans already.
You did? Well, then I guess we can consider this operation a success. If you haven't already, we just need to get those plans to Deputy Lyric in the village. I guess I should go reassure my mother.
Here, I'll untie you.
Get those plans back as fast as you can. May the Eight protect you.
Off with you, twit!
I have some other business in the area first before we do that. Because I can't allow a lighthouse to be in the control of slavers.
Another
oh, wait.
breach by the sea.
First things first.
It's like I always say, the only thing you should make out of wood is nothing. Wood
we have a time rift to seal. Dude, I will be with you in just a second. I'm sorry, I have to go seal this time breach first. Like, this is a matter of, like, reality itself unraveling if I don't do this. The augur is a true dwarf. I gotta admit, after we're done with this quest line, I always end up missing the augur. It's like, I do the quest line, the augur's with me the whole time, and then I grow to miss the augur after he's gone. Sealing the time breach. Sealed. 2 more in Stormhaven to do, and then there's the 2 in, I believe it's the Alakir Desert. Or the 3 in the Alakir Desert. Alright, let's go pick up this quest and save this lighthouse. Oh, he's upstairs. Okay. Oh, hey, another lore book. The Knightly Orders of High Rock. Ooh, this is actually very interesting. Lady Cinnabar of Taneth. The Bretons' passion for feudal hierarchy pervades every aspect of High Rock society, from the lowest peasant farmer to the High King in Wayrest. Nowhere is this more apparent than the curious phenomena of the Breton Knightly Orders. Here in Hammerfell, we Redguard simply award equal citizenship to every man or woman who knows which end of the sword to grasp. Oh, we have our governing class, of course, as civilization must be ordered and maintained, but beyond the aristocrats, the aristocracy, there are few distinctions. Not so in High Rock, where everyone is aware of their degree of nobility, which is invariably traced back to those Breton families who led the region's liberation from the overlordship of the Durini elves. High Rock cultural history is founded on tales of the noble and chivalrous Breton knights who flung off the yoke of their elven masters, and elven parents in most cases too. That's one thing that most races don't really remember, is that the Durini elves were the parents of the Bretons, not just their masters. Redguards have proven themselves to be Chad as usual. That's fair. After these knights drove the Durini back to Belfiera Island, they founded the Knightly Orders to carry on the tradition of nobles in arms, and to ensure that High Rock would be able and ready defenders in times of trouble. So the stories go, at least. Today, every petty kingdom and duchy in High Rock has its own Knightly Order, with traditions that supposedly date back to the glory days of the Breton liberation. The Knights of the Dragon in Daggerfall, the Knights of the Flame in Alakir, the Order of St. Pelion in Evermore, the list goes on and on. And what, nowadays, do these knightly orders do to justify their gleaming greatswords and shining mail? If we look beyond the banners and pageantry, we find that the chivalrous orders fulfill 2 main purposes in High Rock society. First, they provide an acceptably noble calling for the excess sons and daughters of the aristocracy. Over time, as trade has made High Rock prosperous, the profession of merchant has become an acceptable alternative to feudal lordship for the children of nobility. But frankly, not every baron's son has a head for numbers and negotiation. For these spare heirs, there's always a membership available in the local knightly order. Second, the bestowal of a knighthood on a lower-class man or woman is a convenient way to reward outstanding contributions to society or to the elevating lord that confides a measure of that nobility so prized in Breton society. where the commoner is rewarded for achievements other than in where the commoner is rewarded for achievements other than in conflict, and thus is the case in the majority of knighthoods. The membership in the local knightly order is often nominal, and the new sir or dame is not expected to take up sword and shield. However, if their achievements were in the all-important realm of trade, the new merchant knight is expected to contribute heavily and regularly to the order's financial maintenance. So if you're visiting Wayrest or Evermore on a mission of diplomacy or trade, don't be surprised if the head of a shipping company is introduced as Sir Doric, or ownership of a string of hostels is called Dame Lisbetta. Actually, I really like that name. I'm gonna use that sometime for one of my characters. You're simply meeting one of the fabled Breton Knights of High Rock. That was really interesting. I'm actually glad we took the moment to read that. With the new chapter being Breton oriented, I really am looking into Breton culture as much as I can to see what was available prior to this and to see what gets added this new chapter. So,
praise the eight, you're not a slaver. Feels like I've been hiding up here forever. You've got to help me. They put out the signal fire, and I need help getting it relit.
Why did they put out the signal fire?
I couldn't figure it out at first either, but as soon as it got dark, I realized they want ships to crash on the rocks. Then it's just easy pickings for them. We need to get the signal fire relit, and fast.
I'll help. Just tell me what you need.
You're a gust of wind on calm waters, friend. I warn you, though, this might not be easy. The slavers took the focusing crystals and my combustion oil. We'll need to get it all back before we can relight the fire.
Stay here. I'll find the stolen crystals and oil.
I don't think the slavers knew what to do with the focusing crystals. Those may be close by. But the oil, they probably took that on board their ship. If you can recover the supplies, I'll be ready to relight the fire. Godspeed to you, my friend.
How did you avoid capture?
When the slavers first stormed the lighthouse, I swam over to the beach and ran into the woods. Later, I saw the signal fire was out, so I snuck back. I've been hiding here ever since.
Yep. No reason to check a place you've already cleared out. I'm going to take a quick run to the bathroom and get a drink. When I return, we will, of course, continue on with this. I'm just going to have my character take a seat right next to the... No, not on the cat, you stupid lizard. Okay, never mind. We're not going to take a seat next to the cat because apparently we're going to sit on the cat. And I don't want to do that. I will be right back. Okay, I return. Thank you for your patience. I'm back. Alright, here's one of the focusing crystals already. And I'll mark that because I'm definitely going to be heading over there. Yeah, we're going to work our way to, we're going to work our way over to Alikir Castle, but there's actually quite a lot of quests between here and Alikir, so like we're going to do everything that we can on the way to Alikir, so. Because we're gonna have to do all this stuff anyways, but it's not even February yet, and my plan, well, I mean, technically 2 days is gonna be February, but my plan was to get, my plan was to have February dedicated to Stormhaven, and March was gonna be dedicated to the Alakir, and then April to Bankurai, and we're actually getting a good, nice little lead here on, Stormhaven, so. May as well pick up this other quest, though, since we're going to be right in the same area anyways, so I'll go ahead and pick up this quest as well. Hello, Captain.
Fires of oblivion. These motherless slavers have captured my entire crew. I'm not one to shy away from a fight. I think I may be in over my head.
How were they captured?
Captain Ongerthal, the fobbing dog. Crewless slaver in the Azurian Sea, and now in Iliac Bay. He must have put out the signal fire in the lighthouse. It was pitch black. We hit the rocks and the slavers were all over us. Captured the entire crew.
Where are they?
The slavers took most of the crew up the beach, but Salak, Leidenar, and Ozor are still there. Other captives too. They're no concern of mine. I'm too waterlogged to fight, but if you'll free my men, I'll make it worth your while.
I'll free your men.
Watch out for Captain Ongerthal. His axes are stained with the blood of more sailors than I can count. He's a monster. Hey, though, if you're feeling tough, I say take that bastard out. Won't hear any complaints from me.
Any idea what they took the rest of the crew?
I don't know for sure, but I overheard something about the slavers taking over a village up the beach. I'm betting they took the rest of the crew there. If there's a silver lining to that cloud, it's that they're out of Captain Ongerthal's reach.
You and Captain Argenthal have a history?
Never met the man myself, but his name's well known in these waters. Ongerthal's notorious for terrorizing the Abetian Sea, enslaving the Altmer. Guess he joined up with this outfit after the Ebonheart Pact was formed.
Alright. I hope Miri's okay with killing all these Dunmer.
I'll go look for Captain Mark.
I owe you one, friend. Thanks.
Ah, there's the keg of oil.
Get back, you betcha! Fetch a pretty penny in Balmora.
My mother told me not to go to sea.
Should have listened to your mom.
I'm in your debt. I will pray for Rupta to guide you in all your journeys.
That's a lot of journeys, my friend.
Ozor, Salak, and Leidenar are free, and Captain Ongerthal is dead. I believe this day is getting better. I may have lost my ship, but you've restored my hope.
What about the others?
They were marched off to the east. My first mate went after them, but I can't imagine she'll be able to free them alone. If you travel in that direction, keep an eye out for her. If she doesn't return soon, I may just have to track her down myself.
And we will definitely go and do that quest a little bit later. Right now we are going to, well, I'm on this island. Well, while I'm here, I may as well take advantage of this to, discover a few locations.
In a big family, you have to know how to scrap.
I would be remiss if I didn't at least try.
I really don't like your odds.
Unlike the other crab boss in this game, you can't actually predict where this one's going to come up at. Oh, the dolmen's active too. I don't know if I'm going to be able to solo this guy. I've got him down to 59%, yeah, but like, one little screw up and I'm dead. Aha! That'll help. Oh look, another player showed up, so we don't have to solo him after all. When he comes back up, he's dead. Yep, that's one world boss down. Woo! Alright, let's go help with this dolmen since it's up, so. I wonder if this location was important during Daggerfall, because it looks very ornate, and like you can't go into the ruins here. Like, so I have to wonder if this place was important during the Daggerfall questline in some fashion.
Well done. Now, entertain me more.
Beck, I hope you're watching.
May your soul
I should have joined the
burn.
buoyant homages. We drove them back!
Most people don't do the dolmens in this area unless you just happen to be in the area or if you get the quest for it, because there's no easy way shrine that's like right next to where this delve is. Most people, when they want to do delves, they're gonna go to Alikir Desert, because the Alikir Desert has way shrines that are literally right next to where the delve is. I am a lizard. I am a lizard. Do 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 lizard time. Yeah. That's fair. It could be for Elder Scrolls 6 for all we know. Okay, lighthouse crystal holder. That's 1 crystal back. That's 2 crystals back. There's 3. There's 4. No, Miri, get out of my way. Signal fires activated again.
There's a sight for sore eyes, and surely a guiding light for any ships coming into port. You saved the lives of a lot of sailors.
I'm glad I was able to help.
I'm just hoping there was only one ship that crashed on the rocks. I could lose my job over this. If anyone asks, I hope you'll tell them it wasn't my fault.
Okay. Alright, we're gonna go over and snatch that standing stone. We're gonna do the delve that's like right next to it, and then we're gonna maybe see where we are. Oh, come on! Like that was a really bad placement of those enemies. It was like blocking the bridge. There's the tower stone obtained. Go do this delve. This delve is actually important for Bastion's storyline, which I will probably eventually do. I don't know. Missive from the Mages Guild. Fellows, thank you again for accepting our patronage. We know that the excavations will entail a degree of risk, but I am certain you'll find our compensation quite generous. Again, we are paying you, we're paying you to mine these caves for a very specific variety of crystal. Your foreman has samples, and the remuneration will depend on how well your specimens match those samples. If you can keep anything you can find that isn't a crystal, as long as you can deliver what we need on time. Your foreman is also responsible for hiring armed guards to protect. Oh, typo. Okay. Should be okay. I wonder why it's never been noticed before. There's a lot of information there, so we're just gonna skip over it because I don't quite want to spend 10 minutes reading just a little side note. Especially since we have 36 minutes left to make progress in, and then we're gonna just do we're going to do a quest from elsewhere that I missed because it's important. So we're gonna get that out of the way today as well. Probably no one bothered to say anything about it, or maybe just no one noticed. It's like I would not have noticed it was a typo there if you hadn't said it. That would explain why I was having so much trouble reading the words. So. Okay, so the sky shard should be around here. There it is, and then the boss should be around here somewhere too.
I'm still here. Thanks for asking.
Found the boss.
coming for us.
Move!
Oh, those were enslaved villagers, okay. Hey, you're fine, Joe. Welcome to the stream. You feeling any better? You missed me trying. You missed M Sharp trying to convince me to stab a guy just a little bit because he was mildly annoying. Didn't get that nap. Ah, okay. A little more awake. All right. Yeah, we finished Glenumbra. We are now in Stormhaven. Look how beautiful Stormhaven is. I really like Stormhaven. It's one of my favorite regions in Elder Scrolls. Alright, we'll get to you in a second, dude. We have quests to turn in. Mildly is underselling it. I don't stab minor annoyances. Okay, that's fair.
I heard someone was down there teaching the slavers a lesson. I'm guessing you're that someone. Any signs they're planning something else?
I found plans for an attack on the lighthouse, but I already recaptured it.
They attacked the lighthouse? But why? That doesn't make any sense. Can I see these plans?
Yes, here they are. Take the plans.
They put out the lighthouse signal fire so ships would crash on the rocks. Damn it. That could have been much worse, I'm sure. I'm glad you were able to stop them. Thank you for letting us know.
Complete quest. And see, they actually did. Whoever did the Daggerfall region quest line actually thought to connect some of these quests together. Like, you know, if you didn't pick up the plans first, Lucas tells you to pick up the plans. But if you already had picked them up, Lucas is like, "Oh, good, you already have the plans." And if you did the lighthouse first, Lyric is like, "Oh, good, you got the lighthouse." But if you didn't, he'd tell you, "Okay, somebody's got to go get the lighthouse back." So somebody actually thought to have like the system check to see if, oh, look at the adamantine tower. Oh, it looks so pretty today. That's Isle Balfiera, everyone. Let's get over here and get a good look at it. Like, that is Isle Balfiera in the adamantine tower. Okay, that's maybe a little too close because it's starting to bug out a little bit, but that you get my picture. It's like it's a towering, imposing. Could you imagine being like one of the early Nedic people and like settling in Stormhaven and just looking out over the bay and you just see this massive tower that's like so much bigger than anything you can possibly ever hope to construct? Like, what must the Nedic people have thought when they looked at the tower? This is, like, let's just say, this is before the Doreni even showed up and laid claim to Isle Balfiera and started taking over the Nedic people and then, you know, producing the... Oh yes, another massive Felix. Oh joy. Which is funny because when the Doreni took over the Nedic people, the Doreni were like, "Hey, you know what? The Nedic people are fairly fertile. Let's have a lot of children with them." And then they were like, "Oh wait, hold on, we shouldn't have done that. Let's not grant them citizenship and make it so that way they can't be, you know, part of the family anymore." And then that's how you got the Bretons. Hey, Margot, your son's back.
You did it. You even got him home in time for dinner. It weighs heavily on a mother's heart to worry about her son. I can't thank you enough.
I'm glad I could help.
I'll never forget what you've done for us. I hope someday my little Lucas grows up to be like you.
He's fully grown, Margot.
The boy's home and she's happy. Back to spoiling the poor kid. Maybe I can sneak away for a drink soon.
Poor. I feel so sorry for him.
The lengths I go to for a free breakfast of biscuits and jam. My mother can be a hassle sometimes, but it's a small price to pay to have someone else wash your small clothes.
Small clothes would refer to underwear, by the way, in case for anyone who's not familiar with that term. Alright, we need to secure the outlying farms because the farms are a good source of food for Alikir Castle, and they definitely need their food supply back in place. So let's go and help with the farms real quick. Hey there.
On my way. I'm getting. I wouldn't go up there if I were you. The entire farm's been burned down. Scamps are everywhere, and Mr. Norin, he's gone missing.
Calm down. What happened? What exactly happened?
We woke up this morning and the farm was on fire. Smoke everywhere. It was the Scamps. They're all over the place. I would have left right away, but we couldn't find Mr. Norin. He hadn't been a perfect boss, but I didn't want to leave him.
So he's still missing?
Yes, Mrs. Norin and Gunnis. They won't give up, but we've been looking all day. He's gone, probably dead, and I'm not sticking around to join him. If you want to help, talk to Mrs. Norin.
I'll go talk to her. Alright, let's go talk to Rosalie Norin. Yeah, that's for the other quest. We'll get to that in a second. Rosalie.
Fire, scamps, William disappears, and now strangers on the property. The farmhands all gave up. Maybe I need to give up too. The farm's lost, and my sweet William.
Sounds like you could use help.
Sorry, hero. You're too late to save the day this time. Look around, the farm is in ashes. My daughter Gunnis and I stayed only to search for my husband, but at this point, I think we have to assume he was killed in the fire.
I could look for him.
If you want to waste your time, I won't argue, but we're packing up and leaving. My daughter Gunnis is over there sifting through the ashes. Would you mind telling her to come back to the house?
Sure, I'll tell her. Those are clan fears, and they're just hanging around.
This doesn't make sense. There has to be something, anything, some sign of what happened to my father. Can you help me? Can you help me sift through these ashes?
Your mother says it's time to give up.
How could she say that? How could she leave without him? She can give up if she wants to, but I won't. Not until I know for sure. I still haven't searched everywhere. Will you help me?
You really believe your father survived?
I don't just believe, I know. My mother is just not thinking clearly. We haven't even checked all the buildings. I've actually been putting off the northern barn. It creeps me out. I'll go talk some sense into my mother, but could you check it?
I'll meet you at the house after I investigate the barn. That's a Dremora. Well, more stuff about dreaming, so...
Mother? Is that you?
No, it's me, coming back from the barn.
Oh, you came back. You have to help me. Some creepy guy was here, and then my mother tied me up, locked the door, and they left. Can you get me out?
What did your mother do with the key?
I think she wrapped it up in a piece of bacon and fed it to one of those scamps. That's what it sounded like, at least.
I'll try to find the scamp that ate it.
Mother? Is that you?
No, it's Reewish left dash. I'll return when I find the key. What kind of mother would tie up her child and then lock her in a house and then feed the key? The house is animated. The house is alive. The house is a mimic. I would like to check the alignment of the house, Joe. Three centimeters to the left. Oh, there she is.
Thank the 8 you came back. Do you know what's going on? Some creepy man named Sensualist was here, and then my mother tied me up and left.
Did your mother explain herself?
No. She just said it was for my
The
own
house
good.
is left wing.
Then something about a dream and my dad. I don't understand. Who was that man, and why did my mother tie me up?
I think your mother's joining a cult.
A cult? What cult? You don't mean... Oh no, my dad. She said something about him and a sacrifice he had to make. The man said they were going up the hill to the west. Please, you have to go after them.
I will. Let me untie you first.
Yes, please. And then go find my dad. I'll meet you outside.
Don't worry, I'll save your father. No, demonic chicken, you cannot eat her soul. Walk, walk, walk. I really need to fix Mary's weapons. Mary shouldn't be using a sword and shield. She needs to have a great sword or a bow or something. Hello, supernal, or supernal, people. Looks like I'm killing her mother, so.
Head out.
Sorry, you're dead, lady. That's what you get for tying up your daughter and husband and trying to sacrifice them. I hope it was worth it. Over the years, I've recruited dozens of ranks to the Supernal Dreamers, but none of my recruits have made me nearly as proud as you have. The experiment in Colon Village appears to have met with significant success. Your work there has inspired us all, indeed caught the attentions of our divine mistress, Vermina, has sent some of her most potent minions to spread our influence to Stormhaven. Powerful Daedra known as Omens are working behind the scenes in places of power across the kingdom to mimic your achievement. With their aid, we will ensure that the Daggerfall Covenant is plunged into a nightmare from which it will not be able to return. The task which you have now will have in charge is unchanged, but no less crucial. We will need hordes of scamps, Clanfear and Dremora, to plague the lands and perpetrate the waking nightmare our mistress has envisioned. Make efforts to recruit local citizens to our cause. If they will not join us, they must be used as vessels or blood sacrifices to aid in the summoning of Daedra. In Vermina's dark name, Nightcaller Charland. Gotcha, William.
Where's Gunny's? I have to find her.
She's down at the farmhouse. Oh wow, that was impressive. He just vanished. Chartrand. Okay.
You lead.
You are an unnaturally incredible hero among heroes. You saved my dad. I feel like I should be sad because of my mother, but I just can't help it. I'm so happy. Thanks to you.
I'm glad the two of you are safe now.
It's hard to look around here and feel safe. But I do. Especially since you're here. When we rebuild the farm, I think I'll build a statue in your honor. And put it right over there.
Oh, thank you.
If you're willing, I might ask for one other favor?
Of course,
I think I shared a bed with that woman and she nearly killed me. I suppose she may have been under the influence of that crazy cultist, Sensualist. That reminds me. I hate to ask anything else of you, but I think there may still be some danger.
What danger?
Well, the scamp's running around here for one thing, but I have reason to believe there could be worse things coming if we don't act fast. That crazy Sensualist was telling Rosalie about these portals he had opened up around the farm.
We should destroy these portals.
My thoughts exactly, and I'd like to go out and do it myself. I wouldn't want Gunnies to lose both her parents. I think it might be smarter if you go, if you're willing, that is.
I'll destroy the portals. Yeah, no, I don't want her becoming. I don't want her becoming an orphan today. One down. Don't use such foul language, Joe. You know, I kind of be interested in seeing like what your Elder Scroll waifu says about you. Like, if it's an Altmer, it's like you like to be stepped on by a lady who's taller than you.
This is a fight now.
Of course, that could also be Lyris too. Like Lyris Titanborn. Like you like a tall lady that can step on you. You know, I get a feeling that they're setting up to advance the timeline of the game. Like the reason the reason why no time has passed in Elder Scrolls for quite a while is because they have all this stuff going on simultaneously, so new players can jump right in and experience the content. But I get a feeling that they're setting things up so they can progress time in the game somewhat, because there's like so much stuff going on at once and so many things that they've set up and characters going to different places. Like, I really feel like they're getting ready to do some kind of time jump.
Were those Daedra death screams I heard? Music to my ears. And you destroyed those damnable portals too. I think now we'll be safe.
I think you're going to be fine.
It's hard to believe that someone I don't even know would go so far out of their way to help us. There's hope now, at least. Thank you.
Alright. Let's do the other farm, and then I'll go do that other quest that I said I wanted to get done today. And we'll have gotten some decent progress done in Stormhaven. Right.
Hey, over here! Could you help a fellow? Praise Akatosh. You'd be amazed how many people just walk by a fellow in dire circumstances. My sister and I were visiting our aunt's farm when the whole place went to oblivion in an oat basket. Crazy cultists and Daedra are killing everyone.
No one has come to your aid?
Not a soul. I don't think there's any hope of saving the farm. My aunt, my cousin, I think they may be dead. I just want to get my sister and go home to Camlorn. Is that so much to ask? But my sister is too scared. She won't come.
Where is she?
She's locked herself up in the house we were staying in. I knocked on the door. I even begged her to come. You think you could try to persuade her? Her name is Marlene.
I'll go talk to her.
Thank you. I was beginning to lose faith. So many selfish people just walk by, abandoning me and my sister to fate. If you can just convince her to leave the house, then she and I can get out of here and go back to Camlorn.
Now might not be a good time to go to Camlorn, actually. What about the rest of your family?
I don't know. To tell you the truth, I'm not even that close to my aunt. My parents just sent us here to work the farm for a season. If you want to search for my aunt, that would be great. But I just want to get my sister and go home.
Weren't you just complaining about selfish people?
I know. They're terrible, aren't they? That's another reason why I just want to go back to Camlorn. People are nicer there, I think.
That completely went over his head what my meaning was, but that's fair.
Go away. So far, all the crazy people and monsters have just ignored this house. If you keep knocking, they'll come and kill you. And then they'll break down the door and kill me.
It's safe now. Come out and I'll take you to your brother.
Safe? You really expect me to believe that? I saw those things. I saw what they did to the farmhands. There's no way I'm coming out there.
Should I persuade and say if you don't look, you won't know when it's safe? Or should we try to see if we can get her some proof to convince her? But what about his aunt and cousin? Like, he doesn't know whether they're alive or dead. It's like, yeah, persuade. Okay.
I guess you're right. Alright, I'll come out for a peek. And if it's clear, we can make a run for it. But you'd better protect me. Let's get going then!
Let's go. Oh, great, it's my old pal. I know that was sarcasm. It's my old pal, Brother Perry.
What a relief.
I'm not stopping here.
I heard that the Lion Guard has taken back Camlorn.
I'll meet you at the castle, Finis.
Meet you at the castle, Finis.
I'm glad that's over. We need to get back to Camlorn. See you around.
That's the thanks I get?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I've just been under a lot of stress with this whole situation. Here's something for your help. It's not much, but we have a long trip ahead of us. I'm sure you understand.
Wait, what? And to be fair, Camlorn is not any safer right now. And you guys actually got saved. You actually got saved by the fact you weren't in Camlorn when the werewolves came.
Could you please untie me? It's good that you've come along, friend. The Van family is in dire need of aid. If you could untie me, we could have a more civil conversation.
Who tied you up?
The Supernal Dreamers. I should have seen this coming, but I failed, and I need your help to set matters straight. The Dreamers have captured Ingrid Van, the owner of this farm, and I fear they have dark plans for her.
What kind of dark plans?
I'm certainly eager to explain the situation further, but do you think we could continue the conversation over by the bridge?
Sure, let me untie you.
Come with me to the bridge. Farmer. We can speak safely there.
That was impressive. You disappeared for all of like 2 inches.
Perhaps we can now have a civil conversation. I'm Perry, Brother Perry, traveling through Alcaire on my way back to Pariah Abbey. Ingrid Van offered me a room for the night. It just happened to be the night the Supernal Dreamers attacked.
Do you know why they attacked?
They serve Vermina, the Daedric Prince of Nightmares. I know this because I am an initiate at Pariah Abbey. We knew the Dreamers were active in Alcaire, but their intentions for Ingrid Van suggest a more aggressive plan than we imagined.
Yeah. Let's see. What intentions with Vanny?
The Supernal Dreamers have put her into an enchanted sleep, tied down in front of a portal, undoubtedly from Vermina's dark domain. They will summon a Daedric spirit to inhabit Ingrid's body. You need to break the enchantment to free her.
How do I break the enchantment?
It will not be easy, and you will need to move quickly, but it can be done. You will need to reverse the Daedric ritual, which will require gathering a few somewhat grisly items. Then you must follow the directions exactly to break the spell.
What items do I need for the ritual?
You will need to acquire the hearts of 2 different Daedra. A Scamp and a Dremora should do. Then find my ritual candle in the Van's barn. Take the items to where Ingrid lies in the Stonebridge Mill, and there you will perform the ritual.
Which one do I do first?
Offer the Dremora heart first to summon the dark spirit. Then light the ritual candle to enchant it. And finally, offer the scamp heart to dispel it. Memorize this, for it must be done in this order.
What if I use them in the wrong order?
When one meddles in such dark practices, anything is possible. I suggest you proceed with care and make sure to enact the ritual properly.
If you're wondering why I didn't intimidate him, it's completely useless. He doesn't do it. It's just a waste of a click. I kind of want the skooma. I kind of want the Khajiit skooma bubbler. There's a Dremora. We got the Dremora heart, now we just need the scamp heart and a candle. Scamps. There's the ritual candle. Let's go get that. Maybe I'll get it from this one. Nope. There we go, scamp heart. Oh, hey.
My husband's a little hard of hearing. Not quite in touch with reality either. He thinks he killed that scamp, but it was actually our cat. Bless his heart, though. He certainly means well. Just play along, if you will.
You live on the farm?
Oh, yes. Lived here all our lives. Our daughter Ingrid took over the farm a few years ago. Between you and me, she does a better job. Then our granddaughter Rosen lives here, and our other grandchildren Finnis and Marlene are visiting.
Aren't you worried about them?
Oh, you're so young. You must not have children of your own. Older parents eventually realize that you just can't afford to spend all your time worried about the kids and the grandkids. I have enough to worry about with Gerode.
Well, Phineas and Marlene have already cheesed it, so their cat killed this, so this little cat here, look at its eyes, like, bright yellow, like, you could definitely tell this cat murdered that scamp. It just, like, and tore it to pieces.
Are there any more scamps down there? Bring them on, I say. Scamp Killer is my middle name. I can still wield a blade just like when I was a young man. Just watch!
He says as the cat is sitting behind him with glowing yellow eyes staring at his back, trying to decide if he's going to be the next victim. Okay, come on. Why did they make the barrel that the ritual candle is attached to lootable? That was stupid. They should not have made that barrel lootable. Okay, so it's Dremora heart, candle, and then scamp heart, correct? I don't know why I'm asking, since I've done this so many times I already know the correct answer, but... Alright, place the ritual candle, place the Dremora heart, place the scamp heart. So it's Dremora heart first. Light the ritual candle. And then use the scamp heart to dispel the spirit, and she's good.
Oh, is this the real world? Or is this yet another trick? I will not let the darkness in. Wait. This is real, isn't it? You're real. Was it you who woke me?
Yes, I broke the spell.
Then I am indebted to you, stranger. That nightmare. I thought I would be stuck there forever. Wait, what about Rosen? Was that real, or was it just a dream? Where is she? Do you know? I think it was real. You have to help me.
Who's Rosen?
My daughter. And if they've harmed one hair, I'll salt all Tamriel with their blood.
Oh, wow.
I just have to find her. There was something in the dream. A cultist standing over Rosen reading a scroll. It's on Nightmare Crag. Out of my way.
You're in no condition to go after her.
Then you have to go. They're doing the same thing to her they wanted to do to me, but worse. There's something about that scroll. Please, get that scroll and find a way to pull her back. You have to!
I'll look for the scroll and do everything I can for Rosen.
I was tired of walking anyway.
Okay, lighting the first brazier. Lighting the second brazier.
I hope you're watching.
What was that? I couldn't hear the sound over. She got. Was I the only one who saw that she got up very briefly there?
My mother. She was in the dream too. Is she? I have to get home.
Man, that was very. For somebody who was just tied down and almost sacrificed, that was pretty spry to jump off the rock like that.
Let's ride! Surely the Eight sent you to save us. Me, my daughter, we owe you our lives. Do you always go to such great lengths to help people you don't even know?
Not always.
Well, I'm glad you decided to do so today. You will always, always be welcome at the Van Farm. Stay as long as you like. This whole thing was like some terrible nightmare. It reminds me of the day I lost my husband so many years ago. I don't know if you can understand. I've moved on, but sometimes I still feel a little lonely.
William Nern just recently became a widower.
William? A widower? I'm so sorry to hear that. Poor Rosalie. May the Eight bless her soul. Are you suggesting Maybe I will pay the Nurins a visit. They appreciate the suggestion.
The two of them, if the two of them were to get married, they could probably scrape together restore their farm together as one farm instead of two. But they're gonna have a hard time rebuilding their farms up alone. So after what just happened, so. Alright, so that normally would be the end of our stream, but I have one other quest I want to get done today because it's important to the upcoming DLC that's coming out. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, and when I come back we're going to do this one quest, and then we're going to call it for the day there. I will be right back. We are back in the city of Remen. Everyone might remember that the last time we came here, there was a quest over here that tried to start, but the marker ended up getting stuck in the roof up here, so I didn't do it. But there we go. See, he got stuck last time up on the roof there and didn't fall down. Hey, Jakarn. You guys might remember this guy from Strauss
It is my old friend. Been a while, eh? Strauss Mackay, remember? Never mind.
Did you just fall out of that window?
No, I jumped out. Say, I know this is a little sudden, but are you looking to make a bit of gold? Meet me at the Sugar Bowl here in Remen. Got some business that might interest you.
Wait, what's all this about?
Talk soon.
Jakar, get back here, you sneaky claw! You there! Did you see a puny Breton run this way? Answer, Akan!
Who are you?
The Khajiit who will rip out your mewling throat if you do not answer. Now, this one will ask just one more time. Did you see a scrawny Breton running away from this building? Yes or no?
Okay, we've got three choices. Should I say, sure, I saw a Breton. He ran towards the crafting stalls. Touch me, cat, and you'll lose that paw. Or, sorry, I didn't see anyone. I don't respond well to threats, too. Okay. Touch me, cat, and you'll lose that paw. We'll give M Sharp a chance to see if he wants to answer. Sure, number 2. Okay, touch me, cat, and you'll lose that paw.
This one has claws, eh? If only Akan had time to tear them out. Fine, keep your secrets. But if you breathe a word of this to the guards, the wrath of Tuheba will find you. Elshad, we go!
This is probably the best apartment in the game because it actually puts you out into the city instead of putting you into the inn, and then you have to go out into the city. It was like one of the best apartments to get bang for your buck, so because you can just drop right into the center of Remen, so. Hey, Jakarn. I can't talk to you while sitting down.
Hey, they're good looking. I hope Akan and Eljan didn't give you too much trouble. They're both wanted by the city guards, so I doubt we'll be seeing them in a reputable establishment like this. Now, ready to make more gold than you've ever seen?
I've seen a lot of gold, so I'm listening.
Job's simple. I need you to search Remen's sewers for a barrel hidden near an altar to Clavicus Vile. Under the lid, you'll find a note that lays out Tuheba's current whereabouts. She's the crime boss here and elsewhere. Kind of a big deal.
And when I find out where Trebehea is, then what?
You talk to her. Typically, I'd lay on the charm personally, but Tuheba and I aren't on great terms at the moment. I need you to smooth things over. She has my friend, see? Fezcar. She'll probably give him up if the price is right.
You mean to pay a ransom?
Nothing so romantic. Think of it as a down payment on some valuable information. See, Tuheba hired Fez and I to steal a gem called the Jewel of Bondar for her. Fez stashed it away, but didn't tell me where. We get Fez, we get the gem. Simple.
How does all this lead to you falling out of a window?
Jumped. I jumped out. But sure, bit of a tale there. Akon and Eljan, those two charmers you met in the alley, work for Tuheba. They thought I might know where Fez hid the jewels, so they tied me up and worked me over for a while.
But you didn't know anything, right?
Right. I tried to tell them they were wasting their time, but you know how thugs are. Anyway, the gangly one, Eljan, is moon-touched. Nice way of saying he's a half-mad sugar fiend. I had some moon sugar in my pocket, as you do, and he found it.
What happened then?
He went berserk. The little rascal started climbing the walls. And I mean literally climbing, like a cat up a tree. While Akon was busy prying Eljan off the ceiling, I slipped my buns and went out the window. Easy as sneaking past a moth priest.
I mean, that's fairly simple since moth priests are blind, but, so you were hired to find this Jewel of Bondar. Tell me about it.
It's an opal the size of a fist. Never seen anything like it. Unfortunately, it's got some religious significance. That always complicates things. The jewel is a tribute to Bondar, the trickster god. Most every cut person elsewhere prays to him.
Why didn't she tell you to steal a Why did she tell you to steal a sacred Khajiit jewel?
Actually, she hired us to steal it back. The Iraxians snatched it up when that Tharn woman took over Rimmen. So, really, we were just helping the downtrodden, the thieves, and footpads of elsewhere. Heroic, right?
If you successfully stole it, why is she mad at you?
Once we found out how valuable it was, Fez demanded twice the price that Tuheba had promised us. Bad idea, but Fez doesn't really do savvy, you know? Knowing she might take things poorly, he hid the jewel. The rest is very uncomfortable history.
So why is her location written on a note in a barrel?
And in a sewer, no less, right? Fair question. I know a Khajiit, Naruz. We spent some time together. Very brief, but very intense. Anyway, he works for Tuheba, so he's in the know. I called in a favor, and this is the result.
Why didn't he just tell you in person?
Naruz is a little anxious. Always thinks someone's watching him, you know? Honestly, I can't explain it. Even when we were together, he'd insist we meet up in old abandoned barns and musty basements. Exciting at first, but it got old quick.
So is there a reason why you can't track through the sewer yourself?
Trust me, friend. My talents will do us much more good here. Tuheba's gonna want a fair amount of coin for Fezcar's release, especially now that I slipped out of her claws. While you get her location, I'll get the gold we need.
So you're gonna steal it, okay. It's funny, like, when I first met Jakarn, I was playing a Nightblade stealth character, and I was like, oh, you know, we're kind of like two pieces of pod, and they started hitting on my character. It's like, I don't think I like him anymore. It's like... Alright. Oh, we're going into the sewers to find this location.
I'm tired of walking anyway.
Okay, why is that a dead end? The recesses beneath Ruin's palace were originally built to provide maintenance access to the freshwater sanitarian system, and that then expanded into storage, wine cellars, and they didn't finish.
Like rats in the sewer, just as the queen.
Sorry, Erexians, I don't really have time for your nonsense today. Especially since you should have been cleared out of here by now. Yep, this is the Shrine of Clivinus Bile, alright. Alright, sweet meat. After this favor, we're even, yes? For now, anyway. I like that Jakarn is like, Jakarn doesn't care what your gender is. He's like he plays both sides of the field. He's like Barney Stinson if Barney Stinson was interested in both guys and girls simultaneously. Woohoo! Man, the pixels were like very brief. That was not great.
Ooh, so close. Better luck next time, friend.
Look at all that gold.
Hey, you're back. I was just wrapping up my business with these fine Khajiit. Did you find the note? Where's Tuheba?
If this note is accurate, she has a camp near Darkpool Mine.
Huh. Makes sense. We hit the Uraxian treasure caravan just outside Riverhold. She'd want to be as far away from there as possible. Good. Darkpool Mine is in southwestern Elsewhere. Tuheba favors the wilderness, so you may have to search a bit.
Looks like you won a lot of gold while I was gone.
What can I say? What I lack in charm, I make up for in luck. This gold should more than pay for Fez's release. I'm trusting you to deliver it. You could keep it, sure, but this is pocket change compared to what we'll make on the jewel.
Where should we meet once I find Fez?
Once I settle my accounts with these folks, I'll make my way to the mine. Don't worry about finding me. I'll find you. As for Tuheba, show respect, but stand your ground. She appreciates a little swagger. Just don't overthink it and you'll be fine.
Alright, I'll deliver the gold and meet you when I have Fez.
Alright, cats and kittens. Like my Uncle Edmund always says, best walk while you're ahead. You have yourselves a great night, huh?
Aye, not so soon, Pinkskin. You have yet to play the Ibiza.
Look, it's been a real pleasure playing with you, but I got a friend waiting on me. How about we pick things up tomorrow, huh? Double or nothing?
Well, you will at least let the Ibiza and Cherjad walk you home, yes? The streets of Rimmon are no place for a lone Breton with heavy pockets.
You know, That's a generous offer, and I'm truly flattered. But you really don't need to worry. I'm spry as a cricket. Pockets light, pockets heavy, whatever.
Enough. Sit, now. Do not take us for fools, Jakar.
Well, he's stuck. So long, sucker. He's gonna be a minute. Alright. Why did I mount up just to run into the way shrine? I have no idea. Whoa, that was almost too close for comfort.
Chief! That's the one from Rimmon. The one that deals with Jakar.
Is what Akan says true? Do you find common cause with the Breton Jakarn? I should warn you, people who travel with Jakarn rarely meet pleasant ends.
Yes, I know Jakarn, but I'm here to pay for Fez's release.
Ha! A ransom, is it? And why would anyone pay gold for that foolish backstabber? Ah, let me guess. Jakarn believes Fezkar will lead you to the Jewel of Bandar if you free him. Because they are friends, yes? Adorable.
We accept this gold for Fez or not?
You are direct. Good. I will be direct also. Give me this ransom of yours. If it is a fragrant sum, I will tell you where to find Fezkar. Beyond that, I offer nothing. Now, shall we do business, or shall I tell Akan and Eljon to remove you?
Here, you have a deal. Now where's Fez?
Fezkar would not give up the gem, so we sold him to a slave trader. The slaver died, but his ledger should contain the name of Fezkar's new owner. Look for it in Darkpool Mine. What is that look? You paid for information, I provided it. Go now.
Fine, I'll look for the slave trader's ledger in Darkpool Mine.
I would be careful in Darkpool Mine, sweet meat. Soft-headed cultists took it over shortly after we sold your friend. That is how the slave trader died. The cultists tug on Maroon's tail, in hopes he will scratch their bellies. Pathetic.
So you couldn't beat the location of the jewel out of Fez?
No, we could not. This troubles me, because I take great pride in my creativity. People always speak, eventually. But something sealed his lips tight as a drum. Something more than simple force of will.
What do you mean?
A small-time cut purse withstands hours of aggressive interrogation, then suffers enslavement to protect his prize? A simple gem? No, this does not add up. That jewel has buried its claws in your friend. I do not know how or why, but it has.
Did you know about this power when you hired them to steal it?
I did not, but I do now. This will not stop me from claiming it eventually, though. Charms like this only work on weak minds. My mind is far from weak.
Are you willing to sell a Why are you willing to sell a fellow Khajiit into slavery?
Mind your tone. Akkad loves cutting out self-righteous tongues. You are an outsider, so I will assume you speak from ignorance. Bandar rewards the clever and frowns on the clumsy. Fezcar, despite his charms, was clumsy.
So you're saying it's Fez's fault you sold him into slavery?
There you are, spoken like a true child of Bandar. Fezcar and I made a bargain in good faith. Fezcar reneged on that bargain in the dull-witted fashion that is his trademark. His clumsiness and dishonesty made him a slave, not me.
If you catch Jakarn again, do you plan to sell him into slavery too?
From what Akan tells me, Jakarn did not know Fezcar betrayed us. Good news for Jakarn, yes. Return my gem, and I will consider showing your clever friend some leniency. I make no promises, though.
Of course you don't. So I have to go back into Dark Pool Mine, which is not fun, but whatever.
Yeah, this looks ripe for adventure. Maybe a tad overripe.
Coming back in here in a few months. Get a feeling a few of my other characters are going to be coming here in the next few days, trying to, because I think I've got at least one or two that didn't finish this quest either, and it's way down there, so we're gonna have to go all the way to the bottom of the mine. Oh, this is gonna suck.
Cry for mummy.
Almost there.
Roll if you can.
To get to the entrance quickly, so screw it. I don't quite want to fight my way through waves of enemies again. Not with it being this far into the stream anyways.
You read? So it is encoded. What do you want me to do about it?
I gave you the gold. Can you translate this or not?
Can you believe the tongue on this one, Bihargo? Oh, you have not been introduced yet. Bihargo is my Sench brother. He eats people for me. Ha! So serious. I respect your bullheaded insistence, even if it smacks of disrespect. Give it here!
What does it say?
It seems Fesgar is as poor a miner as he is a thief. They sold him to another batch of slavers based in the Tangle, an overgrown cavern that Ruddy Fang bandits use as a base. So there, our business is concluded, yes? Off with you.
Like, this is my brother. He's a massive cat, and he will eat you. It's like, oh, well, no, I am an Argonian with the power of lightning. Now your brother's dead. Oh, I gotta talk to Jakaran. Oops.
Well, that looked promising. Any conversation with a crime boss you can walk away from, right? So, where's Fez? Did she cut him loose?
I'm afraid not, but she told me where he is. But come on! I hate terror birds so much.
Well, that looked promising. Any conversation with a crime boss you can walk away from, right? So, where's Fez? Did she cut him loose?
I'm afraid not, but she told me where he is. Rudy Fang's slavers are holding him in the Tangle.
And she took the gold anyway? For one measly piece of information? Pfft, classic Tuheba. So the Tangle, huh? I know the place. Those Ruddy Fang bandits are idiots. So getting Fez out of there shouldn't be a problem. Of course, we have to find him first.
You think finding him will be a challenge?
For strapping heroes like us? Of course not. If these outlaws are half as lazy as Bosek's henchmen and Stros Mackay, and they are, they probably keep their slaves close to the entrance. Easier to move them in and out, and easier for us to spring.
Alright, I'll meet you at the Tangle.
Tangle's on the other side. See you there, good looking.
Been thinking about what the classes could be for the companions, because companions have like class-like abilities. Like for example, Miri is basically a Nightblade and Bastion is basically a Dragon Knight. I'm thinking that Isabel's probably going to be a Templar and Ember's probably going to be a Necromancer. But I'm not 100% sure. She could be a Warden, but I think Necromancer or Sorcerer is the most likely option. Sorcerer is probably more likely now I'm thinking about it, because it says she has an altitude for magic. So, maybe Sorcerer. And surely they would do all the base game classes first before they start doing DLC classes. Yeah, the game only started with 4 classes. It started with Dragon Knight, Nightblade, Sorcerer, and Templar. And then they added Warden, and then they added Necromancer.
You are. Any questions before we leap into this slippery hedge maze? Once we get inside, we'll cover more ground if we split up. Don't get too concerned if you don't see me around. Think of me as your loyal, rakishly handsome shadow. As for any rough stuff with the bandits, I'll leave that to you.
Wouldn't you still want to free Fez if you didn't need the jewel?
Can't I want to free him and want the jewel? Look, Fez and I have double-crossed each other more times than we can count, but only over gold. When it comes to life and death, we help each other. Actually, a double-cross is how Fez and I first met.
Did you double-cross him, or did he double-cross you?
Both. Great thieves think alike, right? We met years ago, in Sentinel. I was taking an inventory of a local merchant ship's valuables when I stumbled across a cat doing the same. That was Fez. After a debate, we agreed to split the loot.
And Fez double-crossed you?
He slipped past me and flagged down a guard on the way out. Would have landed me in jail if that guard hadn't been the same one I bribed to get on the ship. The guard arrested Fez instead, and we split his loot. Still, I had to respect the effort.
Remind me, oh, hold on, so no, it's fine. We're not gonna ask that question again.
There he is. Boy, this is creative.
Yeah, I'd say.
No, stay back. Don't touch me.
Easy does it. What's the matter?
What's the matter? The giant spike trap under Feskar's feet. It could impale Fez at any moment.
Why did you step on a spike trap?
Not by choice. The ruddy fang trappers forced Fez onto this plate. They play this game with new slaves to break their spirits and teach them to listen. If Fezcar steps off this plate, he becomes a Fez kebab. Fez does not want to be a Fez kebab.
Calm down. Is there any way to disarm the spike plate?
You and Jakarn come to free Fezcar? Bright moons, yes, free me. But to disarm the plate, you pull the chain over there. But you need a key to unlock it. Look for a chest deeper in the tangle. I know they keep the key inside it. Please, hurry!
Alright, sit tight. I'll go find this key. Don't go anywhere.
I'll keep watch here in case any guards wander by. You see if you can find the key he's talking about. Deal?
Yeah, it's not far. Honestly though, like couldn't like even if it's set to make you a shish kebab, if with it being open like that, couldn't you like jump and roll like before like the spikes have time to come up and like get away to safety? Like I feel like you could escape that. I mean, not saying it would be easy, but I'm saying I still think you could probably have escaped that.
Oh, would you quit?
Now it'd be different if you had to climb a little bit. Like if you were forced to climb a bit, no, you'd be screwed. To risk being faster than those spikes, that's a fair point. Let's not waste a chance of becoming a festival. Okay. Fair point, guys. Question is how much weight is required for the spring trap to like stay sprung or stay unsprung? Like, because what if somebody's like really light and they would never set off the spring trap in the first place? If they were too light for the spring trap, they'd never set it off in the first place. A dead man's switch, that's fair. But to be a dead man's switch, like with him, because basically it says if he steps off of it, it goes off. That means it requires a certain amount of weight.
See, Fez, there's our friend, right on time.
There you are. Did you find the key? Feskar's fur falls out from all this stress.
Yes, I've got the key.
Bandar be praised! Slide the key into the lock beneath the chain. Turn it to the right until you hear it click. Slowly. And do not take the key out before you pull the chain. Otherwise, Feskar is skewered like a tasty pig.
Okay, so we have two choices. We can say, not yet, tell us where you hid the Jewel of Bondar first, or, alright, don't move, I'll get you out of there. Get the info first from M Sharp. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and go with M Sharp's option.
Tell you? So you can leave me here to die? Your new friend Feskar was not born yesterday, Walker. I will tell you, only that the jewel is hidden safe in a lockbox on a high cliff. You will not find it without my help. Now, free Feskar, please.
Fine, I'll get you out of there.
Steady hands, friend. I'll just be right over here.
Free at last. Thank you both.
No kidding.
Now, all this key finding and trap disarming is hard work, yes? You've earned a rest of the... two-faced little...
Welp. I almost forgot about that scene happening.
Really should have seen that coming, Jakarn. Sneaky little bastard. Where did he even hide that gas bomb? Ooh, you know what? Let's not think about that.
What now? How do we find your friend?
Friend. Right. I hate to admit it, but good old Fez is sliding rapidly toward dopey rival. Sometimes colleague at best. Ugh, anyway, Fez grew up in the Stitches, cliffside settlement above the Scar. He might have hidden the gem there.
Fez did say he hid the gem on a very high cliff.
Exactly. It fits. Still, the Stitches is a big place, and he's got a head start. Fortunately for us, Akon and these bandits did a number on his legs. He hobbled out of here like an 80-year-old stork. If we move fast, we might catch him.
Alright, where do we start?
We should split up. Famous last words, right? Whoever finds that sneaky Khajiit first holds him down until the other arrives. Then we all find the gem together, yeah? Mara's mercy, I'm starting to talk like a cat. I've been in elsewhere too long.
To the Stitches, then. Yeah, the reason why Jakarn is important is because Jakarn is going to be a quest character in the Ascending Tides DLC, which is the zone dungeon for 2022. So Jakarn, getting this quest out of the way is very important before we do that quest line. So, but Jakarn is not the only important character. If anyone remembers from the Dawnguard quest line, Zaji and Casca. They're also going to be in it, and what's really cool is that if you finish the Dragonhold, if you finish the Dragonguard quest line, they're in their Dragonguard outfits. But if you haven't, they're in their pirate outfits, which they were wearing prior to becoming members of the Dragonguard. So, depending on whether or not you play Dragonguard, determines whether they're members of the Dragonguard or if they're members of if they're still pirates. So. Which is a very nice thought. Am I gonna make this? Hold on.
Get back! You will not take the jewel from Feskar!
Oh, we found the gem. It's right there.
That jewel's made you crazy. No one can make that jump.
You lie! Bandar smiles on me, Jakarn. Riches, glory, All will belong to Fezgar!
Fez! Damn it, don't do this! Stop! Fez!
Well,
God
I'm
damn
not
it,
a
Fez,
doctor,
you
but
idiot.
I don't like his chances.
Why did... Wait. It's not that far.
Jakarn?
Oh yeah, I can make that. Definitely.
Jakarn, what are you doing?
You see it? The Jewel of Bondar is right there on that cliff. Right where Fez dropped it for safekeeping. It's not that far. Not really.
Nobody can make the jump, Jakarn. Fez just died trying.
Sure, but he was injured. And not half as athletic as me. Akon worked him over, and the wind wasn't right. Besides, he was never a good jumper. That jewel will make me... us... rich. Like royalty. Wealthy, irresistible royalty. Look, it's so close.
Stop this. Think about Lysira. About your friends. They don't want you dead.
You don't know anything. Larissa would want this.
Larissa, sorry.
She'd tell me I'm an idiot. Mara's mercy, what am I doing? Why would I jump off a cliff? Wow, is this a bad idea?
There you go. Step back from the cliff.
I really need a drink. You need a drink, right? I need a drink. Meet me at the Goiter's Gulp, would you? We'll settle up there. Don't worry, I'm not gonna jump. I just need to clear my head and say goodbye to a friend. Fez,
now, I know what I just told him, but I'm going to make one attempt to try to see if it's possible to get that. I don't think it is. But if I can get up there and try dropping down, no, it's not going to work. But see, a fall like this won't kill me. Honestly, I'm surprised Fez just didn't like get a rope and rappel down from above to grab it. There are ways to get that gem if they really wanted to. The Telvanni looked down on such a pitiful mage, not even able to levitate across the gap. I love how even the mount was like, yeah, no, fuck this, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Oh yeah. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Oh yeah. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna grab my shit and leave. Let's see. Yeah, look, you can't. If you could get down onto the proper ledge, it might be possible to make it, but I don't even want to try to risk it, so we're not going to. It's not something you're meant to be able to get, so.
Well, look at this, Akon. It's just who we were waiting for.
Those who Bondar know.
So we meet again, Vagar. I see you, but not your friends. Where are Jakarn and that mangy idiot, Fezgar?
Fez is dead. He jumped off a cliff trying to get the Jewel of Bondar.
Truly? Dark moons, eh? Fez was stubborn and foolish, but he did not deserve to die. This may surprise you, but I did not want Fezgar dead. Just soundly punished. Seems I was right about the jewel after all.
What do you mean?
I warned you before. There is a hex on the jewel. I do not usually place much stock in folktales, but the clan mothers say Bandar created this gem to teach the Khajiit that some prizes are not worth the risk. Lesson learned, I'd say.
So the jewel drives people crazy?
With greed, yes. Perhaps I made a mistake in sending young Fesgar to recover it. Perhaps I made a mistake in sending that sweet-tongued Breton as his partner.
Speaking of Jakarn, are you still angry with him?
Let's find out, shall we? Hello, Jakarn.
Well, this is awkward.
What's the play, Jakarn?
No tricks this time. One way or the other, I need to settle things with Tuheba. Otherwise, I'll never have any peace. Take this for your trouble, huh? Assuming Tuheba doesn't kill me, you should join us for drinks. Thanks again, good looking.
Next time, Jakarn.
So, here we are, Tuheba. Ready to clear the air, or should I start throwing stuff?
Peace, Jakarn. All I want is the gem. Now, I will ask you one last time. Where is the Jewel of Bandar?
I'll take you to it. Just promise me you'll feed it to your cat, or toss it in a vault or something.
You have my word.
Look at us, making nice. This calls for a toast. Suggestions?
To bold, foolish Fesgar, I think. A Khajiit who died as he lived.
Yeah. To Fez.
Alright, and that is the end of that quest, and thusly the end of this session. I will see you guys next week as we continue the Stormhaven storyline and get further into that. Also, just as a reminder, I have set up a brand new Discord where I'm starting a community for my streaming. There'll be announcements and there are things of that nature there. I'm reposting the link to invite into the Discord and to the channel. I shall see you guys next week. Nothing goes wrong between now and then. Thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.